On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, upgrades, banners, a panel? I don't know why I put a question mark there. Yes, there's a Anime NYC panel. And also more advanced quests to kick your butt. Also, we're going to talk about Gamescom and stuff at the end there. Hi, welcome to our show. I am one of your hosts. I am Omega. With me as always as Lucky. I don't really have anything funny to say this week, man. They can't all be bangers.
It's fine. It's fine, and it's all fine. But with that, hello everyone. I hope you are all enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka POW! Straight to the moon. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EN version of the game. So anyone not want to spoil should know that this event is second verse, same as the verse.
But not too much spoilers, because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But, yes, you know, we can't always have zingers in the intro. I have commented several times on streams that I have been very tired and low energy this week, and I'm not sure why. I'm feeling a little better today, but I'm trying to, like, consume more iron and stuff. But we're here now. And we're partially here thanks to our patrons. Like Adam DeHarp, Like G, Call Me Zed, Carlos, Dragon, JDV9000, Jester the Fae, Kaiser, Chris Starlight, Legendary Boss Hunter, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Ramen, Charvor, Some Guy Named Bob, and Varian the Crow. Thank you very much for your support, everybody. If you want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon, access to episodes early, and more.
Thank you.
All right, closeth that tab. And we're going to move on to our next bit of the show. And check in with everybody's favorite Kohai, for now anyway, Mash.
Senpai! 起きてください.
Because it is time for Wake the Fuck Up Senpai, regular segment for pro tips, but also, you know, saying... like earlier saying second verse same as the first. Hey, guess what I'm going to tell you this week, chat? Guess what your pro tip is? Beat LB4. Yamatai Koku soon? You Yamatai Koku, I should specify. It's going to require LB4. You need to beat LB4. Have you beat LB4 yet? That's all I got to say to you. And I guess remember to do your advanced quests. They're cool. FGO, especially in the EN side, has been very low energy lately, so we don't have much to comment here. No records, no evils. I've done like 2 out of the 3 normal recollection quests, but did not have the energy for the 3rd today because, man, God Arjuna still sucks. That guy just cheats. He's just a cheater. But, you know, we're here now. So that means that our next step is, did you finish your master missions? Which are honestly pretty simple, and I think are indicative that, you know, we don't want you to go too crazy this week. Just get a little extra action in here. And you defeat 3 Knight class servants, that is Sabers, Archers, Lancers. Defeat 3 Cavalry class servants, that is Riders, Casters, Assassins, Berserkers. They're listed with the full list of classes in the Master Missions, but I simplify it for my own notes because it's easier to write and remember. You need to defeat 20 enemies, not servants, and certain story bosses, and then defeat 40 enemies, not servants, or certain story bosses, and then get 2 skill gems or statues, and then get 4 skill gems or statues. So basically, I don't know, do dailies or something. And I do want to start Skelograms. I'm not actually sure in the timeline where this goes, but we do have some sad news, if you haven't heard. But unfortunately, rest in peace to Atsuko Tanaka, born 1962, died 2024. She was the voice actress of, in FGO, Medea, Carmilla, Jinkei, and had many, many other roles in the anime industry because I'm pretty sure she's been in the business since the 80s?
Yeah, no, I specifically want to shout out Makoto Kusanagi, a.k.a. the Major from Ghost in the Shell.
Yep. She's been consistently the Major's voice actress in JP for the longest time. She played character Conan in Naruto, who people like, and like I said, so many other roles. And we learned the news earlier this week from her son, who I think is also in voice acting.
Yes, but apparently she was battling an illness, and she lost that battle.
Yes. It can be tough doing the work. Everybody remember to, you know, appreciate everybody while you got them, and, well, remember your fine work. Yes, sorry, I had a drink of water there. But yes, unfortunate news. Like I said, you know, this happened during the week, so I'm sure most people who are paying attention are aware, but, you know, in case you didn't know, and we want to offer our own thoughts and good wishes. But, on to better, you know, hopefully happier news. We do have some stuff going on in the JP version of FGO. No actual brand new banner yet with new servants, which is, I think, you know, kind of suspicious. And everybody got in there. I mean, talking about it, you know, the practical aspects. Usually, Japan is very dedicated to voice acting, but I don't know for any major works. That probably means one of the vocal appearances of Jinkei, Carmilla, or Medea in the near future. But also, for health reasons, FGO has actually, had voice actors replaced, technically. MASH actually had a VA switch, because her original actress became suddenly ill. Luckily, she did recover, because the original voice actress for MASH was also characters like Matahari, and did eventually, come back to FGO to do more work, but they had to replace her with Tanaka Rie because, well, you may have noticed that MASH has little voice lines in Master Missions every month, so I think it really depends on the project. Obviously, you want to be respectful, especially for, characters like Medea especially, that... When did we first get voice acting for Fate? Was that the Studio Dean adaptation, I think? Because I
believe so.
I don't think the voiced version of the VN was done yet, so, that's a long time.
I don't know if there was any drama CDs done before it, though, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a long run, so this I think will be very, I don't know if interesting is the right word, but I am curious how they will handle it for the upcoming Hollow Ataraxia port. That's supposed to be pretty soon, so I assume if there is any VO from Medea in it, they would have already have it in the archive bin and worked it out with the estate.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see what they do. Like I said, Japan is usually very, very tight about not necessarily letting the characters kind of die with the performer, but of respectful gaps and sometimes sticking a little closer. But I feel like in more recent years they have gotten more open to recasting, especially for major franchises, because it is kind of, one of the hallmarks of show business. People still do say the show must go on.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see how that works out.
All right, Lucky's trying a new drink here. I have bought Monster's new alcoholic drink, the Beast.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I got the white can. It's called White Haze.
Oh my god. It sounds like it's just gonna fucking kill you.
Oh no! All these cans have the stupidest names. They only had 2 at the store, but no, they're send photo. Hang on.
I mean, there's a whole reason why this was an elaborate joke I ended up posting one day for Singularity War of just the obscene names, and I will. So it's funny to me. This is a completely different tangent, and we're really gonna lighten up the mood here, but as you all know, chat, I watch a lot of YouTube specifically through my PS5 on my TV, and also on my phone. Those don't have ad blockers, so I still see what YouTube tries to advertise for me. Some of these are misses. I get way too many super long, unskippable car ads, and I want to die. YouTube, you will not sell me a car. I'm sorry. Stop it.
No, Legendary has been having a blast finding cans in Stellar Blade.
I may have seen your specific one, but geez, yeah, no, this is I think the most Monster Energy thing I think I've ever seen. It reminds me of the meme image I posted in general a couple nights ago, I think, which was Red Bull flavored gelato.
Hey, I was interested.
Yeah, which somebody posted that tweet, which is this is the green stuff, the Drukari, which is the copyrightable name for Dark Eldar that they added to 40K. Put in their glowing green drug injector tubes, and I'm just sounds about right. That sounds like something you would fucking drip feed somebody. Red Bull gelato. Ugh. But yeah, no. I actually saw very rarely does YouTube actually try and show me anything vaguely relevant, but actually I think it may have even been on some 14 adjacent videos or some other stuff. But I saw some actual Mountain Dew ads, which were normal 5 seconds that I could skip. One for each major flavor, I think. There was some normal ones. There was a Code Red, and then there was is it Blue Voltage? I don't remember. It's the Blue Raz one, which is Blue something.
Mm-hmm.
Which, on the one hand is well, good, you're advertising to me something I may actually, be interested in. But also, I'm not that interested in because that shit is poison. The White Haze is also very funny to me because, with the tear... I wonder, are they trying to, scoop White Claw's business? I don't know. Well, that was, what was that? I think that was, almost said Hippocrates, which is the funny way to say it. Hippocrates. I'm pretty sure that was in his, actual treatise on medicine. It's something that, I know that in FGO, Asclepius has quoted. The difference between a medicine and a poison is a matter of dosage.
No,
also been a... Go ahead.
Oh, no, keep going, please.
I was going to say, that may also have been a Paracelsus quote. He had a couple of medical works as well. So I'm not sure on the source chat, but it's a thing I've heard.
Ooh, excuse me. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Omega? I just temporarily spaced.
Oh, I just said that I wasn't sure on the source of the quote about poison and dosage. It may have been from Paracelsus as well.
Probably. It's something I believe, you know?
I mean, I think it is something that in science we can say is, like, reasonably factual. Even, like, literally too much oxygen or water can kill you.
Yes.
Which are things that you, like, need to live normally. But if you do it too much, you'll die. I don't remember the exact effects of, like, oxygen poisoning, but it's pretty nasty. Like, you're guess what? Your body is meant to live in exactly, like, the spectrum of oxygen that appears in America and no more. Or not America, Earth. Actually, though, no, there are parts in the Himalayas which are taller, but I don't know, because, like, Death Valley is very low below sea level. Like, we got some deep depressions for that extreme. Got a lot of climates in the Americas. Anyway, tangents about energy drinks, so which are percent alcoholic aside. What I was going to say that, like I said, JP has not actually launched a second banner for summer? ? Upside down question mark. But they are running a summer 2018 through 2020 pickup banner. Talking about, once again, making sure to get all your summer repeat banners. So you got 3 different banners. You got one for Buntoria, Lambda, and Okita J. Then Summer Kiara, Tomoe, and Ilya. And then Summer BB, Maeve, and Double X. So that's probably a very relevant one right now. We also got some rank-ups from this, which is pretty interesting and good. Yeah, it's funny we're going like a full 2 weeks for the banner. Sorry, people are doing an iteration on the if you ate enough bananas, you would die of radiation. And of course, my favorite comeback. Ah, yes! The radiation would kill you.
I have that starred.
Oh, okay, you good. You found it faster. I was literally just looking for it. such a good. And I love the fucking I actually don't even know if Russian Badger was mocapping it yet, but his, like, animation of the other guy covering his face, it's great. Yeah, no, because it's, you have to the amount of the potassium isotope that is radioactive and, like, its half-life is pretty shit. You would absolutely die of normal potassium overdosing or just consuming the weight of 40,000 bananas. But it's a funny stat. Anyway, rank ups. We got a few. Woo! And actually, honestly, I think all of these are pretty good. So, Buntoria's 3rd skill is now party-wide attack for 3 turns. That's 40% at max level, by the way, for the whole squad. And it now gives her 20 to 30% buster up for 3 turns. So this is her Knight of the Lion. It is now a really strong charisma and also gives herself a buster buff, which is probably needed. Summer Tomoe's NP got the gas, which is also probably pretty good. I know she was a little bit of an underperformer before. So now the buster and arts up it gives first lasts 3 turns total. The amount of burn damage it does by default is doubled. It is now 2k burn damage. And also, of course, because it is an NP upgrade, her NP multiplier goes up by 1 stage overall. This is in addition to the fact that its overcharge effect was already spreading fire. So, yeah, no, that's probably a pretty strong buff. Now, another really fun one, on a welfare, actually, though I do believe that Summer Ishtar may be in the evocation shop, but Summer Ishtar's 3rd skill dropped the self-stun completely, got rid of the demerit, and it now gives her 3 turns of 30 to 30% NP gain up, and is also a 20 to 30% battery. Just, realizing that holding ourselves back with demerits for just, a 1-turn invul and a couple of perfectly normal buffs was no good. And they were just like, nah, man, battery. So, yeah, pretty good buffs. And this is something I believe I said during the wanteds for all of this year's Summer Servants. I was like, so technically some of these people have only gotten, like, 2 banners ever, like, a rerun campaign and another. But also JP seems committed to rerunning every summer banner in the next couple of months. So I suspect that there will be more of these side banners and maybe more of these rank ups. Always want more rank ups. They give us more SQ and they give us good stuff for servants. Servants good. Yeah, the alcoholic percentages that are like the amount of alcohol percentage to actually consume is very funny sometimes. I think I remember a conversation about, I was watching a video that talked about vanilla extract, because you make vanilla extract by soaking vanilla in alcohol and water. It's the only way to get the essence out. So technically, raw vanilla extract is like actually slightly alcoholic, but you're probably not gonna like an adult. You're probably not gonna get smashed on vanilla extract. You should keep it out of the reach of children and pets, but that's because they have smaller body mass. And also, it doesn't matter when you're baking because hey, alcohol evaporates really easy. Next step in our news, we've got kind of an odd one, but the Anime NYC 2024 Gilgamesh pickup summon the least limited unit of all time, starting the 23rd, going until the 29th. It's a summon banner that's just Gil and Emiya. That's it. And actually, I should mention each of those respective banners for the JP Summer Slam. I guess I don't have a better adjective for that. Those also all come with old CEs as well, which is always fun to see. But yeah, no, the Anime NYC Celebration summon banner is just Gil and Emiya. Thanks for that, guys. But also, the Anime NYC panel is actually going to be streamed this time. It's going to be tomorrow, I believe, but like late afternoon, early evening time. So, you know, a little out of our scheduling zone. They're probably going to announce Guda Guda new Yamatai Koku. They have already put out the news article saying that it is still scheduled for quote-unquote early September. So we're going to do the pregame next week. That show will be recorded on the 30th. And, you know, would Albert and Kano-san lie to me and have the actual event start in August? No, couldn't happen. I'm actually pretty sure based on our next news one that it will probably be either, depending on if we actually get anything tomorrow, like Saturday, for the panel, like there's actually another week-long mini event. It'll either be like literally September 1st or it'll probably be on like the upcoming Monday, because we also have gotten pre-news that our next batch of Advanced Quests is dropping on the 26th. That is a Monday. This is a very cool one because the 3 quests for the 3 CEs are Chains, Stakes, and Bones. The Chains and the Stakes CEs are new. So get a load of them bronze mat CEs. Also, is this our second or third Bone CE? We're getting pretty deep in the bones. In the bone zone, if you will. The zone of bone. The Bone Throne.
Bone Throne.
But that is, despite all the tangents, still only like 20 minutes into the show, that is our Skelligrams this week.
Woo! Unfortunately, it's probably not going to be that long in the actual FGO content, guys, but we'll see what we can do. So, with that, though, it is time for this week's Let's Talk FGO Mailbag, the segment where we read what you have to say and comment accordingly. Let me just hit this refresh here, see if we got any last minute. We did not, so we have five lovely submissions, and we'll get through them all right meow. This first one comes from Monster Girl Aficionado and says, Dear Lucky Omega, no question this week, just sending good vibes, wah 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 wah, and wishing you well. Keep up the great work. Same to you, buddy. Thank you very much. Glad to see you as always. But without further ado, we move on. Next one comes from The Tyrant King, scouring YouTube and iTunes to find that one song from an AMV years ago and it's currently lost in Blink 182 and Sum 41. We really did bands really did like being a number, a word, and then a number.
It was a thing for a little bit.
It was a thing for a little bit. Question. Hey, guys. Recently I saw a short of what the person thought was the strongest service in each of their respective classes. So I was wondering, outside of Grands, who do you think is the strongest servant in each class is? Anyway, that's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah, 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 wah. And hope you have a great evening. So, while I am not necessarily against this question, you have said the unfortunate thing of where I have to think through several hundred servants and try to pick out one for each respective class, and buddy, that's kind of impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, not against the question. I appreciate the quizzing, you know, like my brain thinks about it, but also it's like, we get asked this a lot in Mailbag, and often have to pass on these kinds of questions because it's like, there's like 350 servants. You want me to look up every
Those are just the
assassin?
ones that are in FGO, not listed in other such publications and whatnot?
Also, yes, yeah, that's the ones that are officially listed in FGO as well. Also not accounting for, like, story-locked characters who haven't gotten, like, full kits yet.
Because we have servants from, like, Ihenyar, from, Requiem, from, like, still missing them from, Strange Fake.
Haven't gotten some people from Prototype who were data
It's
mined.
like, so just...
It's a lot.
So
this is like...
It's a lot.
I could probably do some research, get with Lucky, and write a script for a whole podcast. So this is just this. You know, feel free to yell in the comments if you would be interested in that hypothetical. I mean, I do think some people feel like we would just have pocketed answers, but actually, no. Like, unless I get the mailbag question super early, which Lucky usually posts the mailbag the day of. Not that I'm against, but that means that, hey, I get them fresh, so I don't.
I like them fresh.
No, I think, you know, it. Well, sometimes like a little extra cook time, like you post it on Friday and then we push it to Saturday and we like catch a couple extra questions. If people got questions, they're usually ready to go when you fire the you know?
Mm.
But it also like means that I don't have any like prep time in my notes. And actually, you know, to answer the question we got from Patreon chat, I don't have a lot of pocketed answers for stuff, actually, honestly. Like, I could come up with some good answers, but I'd have to, like, go in the hole, enter the library of forbidden knowledge, and, like, start doing research. And, like, off the cuff, man, that's a lot of servants. Honestly, I think there's a better explanation for, like, who's got the best gameplay. But even then, people would disagree because, like, I think I've talked about this before. Determining how strong a unit is in FGO is tough because you have 5 more slots for servants. Generally, you're not supposed to be soloing, so, like, I don't think the game is necessarily designed around that kind of thing, except for certain challenges. So, like, what to one person a unit may be weak could be really strong to others because they have all the content-wise. No, that's fair. Of course, I love the comments in Patreon chat, and I'm just like, talking about it, they should have specified lore-wise. No, that's fair. Like, I don't think we were asking that, but yeah, it's a lore-wise is definitely, I would have to, like, fucking do research. I have not memorized the backstory of every single servant in the game, especially the ones that aren't out in English yet. Food for thought. Hey, people like engagement. In the comments below to this video, you leave what you think the strongest servant in every class is, and we'll get, like, 2 of them. But even though I know a lot more of you watch this video, don't be afraid. I mean, I technically have that script, but nobody's really been fighting about it. Sorry, Chad, I don't think you can hear me stroke my unshaven beard hairs in thought.
So, with that, though, let us move on. So this next one comes from Ready for Yamtai Koku Part 2. They forgot an A in there. But they say, howdy, Lucky and Omega. Hope you're having a good week this week. My question is to you, gentlemen, is what class container do you think is the most interesting and unique within FGO? I am aware that there are even more class containers in other Fate media, but I'm curious your thoughts on the ones that we see in the game that we are all still playing. Lucky, unlike the last one, I do have a quick answer for this in my pocket. The answer is clearly the Beast class container.
Yeah, that's probably, I mean, that's always been the most diverse, but we've had a symbol for that for a long time. My other off the cuff would probably be Foreigner, because that's not something that any other Fate property has really gotten anywhere nearly as into as FGO has. And, like, there's a lot of weird stuff with whatever the hell existence outside the domain means.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even though Pretender is kind of an FGO original thing, I think Case Files with Faker, like, really sowed the seeds of that. It's not a 1-to-1, like, matchup, but, like, they're in the right ballpark, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But Foreigner is, like, something that's very unique to FGO. Kind of the same with the Beasts, because, like, I'm pretty sure Nasu was talking about the calamities of man long before FGO was, but he, like, didn't have a uniform script, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we didn't really realize what we were talking about until FGO, like, really defined it. So that's another one that is very, very, very curious, because, like, honestly, if you think about it, we have quite a few beasts, like, beast classes, because we actually, like, fight a lot of them, and they all have the beast class symbol. There's a lot of weird stuff going on there.
Oh, that's right. It's Kojima's birthday today. Yeah. But because he celebrates it in Japan, we technically celebrate it on the same day. So, haha! But, aside from that, we shall move swiftly on. And this next one comes from Agent 418, who says, hello, Lucky and Omega. Have a good weekend, y'all. Thank you. Thank you very much. But, that is not our last one. Our last one comes from Downtown Dave, who says, did you guys ever watch The Umbrella Academy? I don't know how to feel about the last season. I am sorry, Downtown Dave. I have not watched Umbrella Academy at all. It kind of just seemed like a weird, depressing X-Men kind of thing, and I'm not really big on, like, hero shows.
Having watched all of the first season of Umbrella Academy and no more, I kind of concur with Lucky's assessment. Parts of it were interesting and witty, but also and I don't know if it was necessarily supposed to be, like, taking the piss out of, like, the X-Men, but a lot of it was kind of that era of comic book tropes of, like, man, Charles Xavier would actually be really weird, wouldn't he? Well, guess what? In the comics, Charles Xavier is also already considered a freak. He's like he is a really weird guy who may be raising these children as terrorists. Anyway, comics continuity is very wild, but, like, I watched the first season, I kind of saw where it was going with everything, and then I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, I don't really care about any of these characters, actually. Like, I mean, I care about some of them, but, like, everybody's, like, got super fucked up trauma and shit, and, you know, is not doing anything healthy with it, and I'm like, I'm not actually a huge fan of kind of, like, shows that are all about nothing but messy characters, because, like, that gives me, like, the second-hand agita. It gives me the cringe. I don't mind, like, awkward moments or anything for characters, but I like there to be some smooth time. So yeah, I stopped after the first season. I think I started watching it because I said there was going to be a second. I was just like, all right, Netflix, what the fuck is this? And I was just kind of like, I don't know, this isn't for me. I have kind of heard that the last season is kind of wild. I apologize for not being able to bring you that kind of closure, but I don't know. We got a movies and TV channel. We might be able to find some people to talk about it in our Discord.
So that is that, and we have finished the mailbag.
The mailbag is done.
It is completo.
30 minutes. We're on a speed run today. That's okay. We do have a back half to talk about. FGO is, like, literally in a slow news week because, I mean, JP's doing story stuff that we can't talk about and don't know and don't want to know. Don't you dare shake my finger at the comments. But the English version is the same way with, waiting on the, Anime NYC panel. So I'm sure there'll be, like sync courts for that and stuff, and we'll, like I said, probably get some announcements, and we'll see exactly how long it is, but we'll bring all that to you next time. But that's not to say it's been necessarily a slow news week. We've got a few things going on here. Biggest thing is probably, in terms of, like, media and stuff, is Gamescom.
Mm-hmm.
It did happen, it has been happening, and that means that there's lots of stuff going on. There was the big opening night live, hosted by Jeff Keighley. And I do kind of feel like that was a pretty decent show. I kind of feel like 2 hours was too much, just because I feel kind of like some stuff was lost in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But they did hit a couple of new new things going on. Let me skim some highlights. Like, I've got some specific game stuff that we've gotten more press on, but there's a few things. Let's see. The first one is very funny because I think we talked, I don't know about it at length, we talked a little bit last week about the Borderlands movie.
Oh, yeah, we got a little bit in there.
Yeah. And I guess that Randy Pritchford and 2K are in damage control because they immediately announced Borderlands 4 with a announcement teaser trailer.
A nothing trailer?
Yes, a nothing trailer. And I know that Jeff did say, like, he made a point to be like, and this one wasn't leaked. No, the trailer wasn't leaked, Jeff. We all knew Borderlands 4 existed. Randy Pritchford made a 4 pun in a tweet like a week ago. Like, we all knew it was coming. Or, I mean, not everybody, but you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't, like, super new. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. Like, I think I've mentioned, Borderlands 3 kind of lost me. I haven't tried Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, like, at all. Obviously, the Borderlands movie is, like, everybody's looking at it like, who the fuck was this for? Nobody. So we'll see how that goes, I guess, with them. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're doing, like, a 10-year anniversary version of Goat Simulator. That's very funny. I'm just skimming through a lot of stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, most of that is just nothing. Genshin's gonna be on Xbox. Cool. I did some stuff for the Dune Survival MMO, and I'm just kind of like,
Meh.
But they did have a new trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds, which showed off some new creatures. And in general, Capcom's been killing it with the press for Wilds at Gamescom.
Oh yeah.
We talked, I believe, before about how they were doing a series of trailers about all the weapons and what they're going to kind of look like. And they've done a lot more press about stuff in general. I think they've had some hands-on demos on the floor. There's a lot of positive news coming out of it. Like I said, I have never been a Monster Hunter, but I will probably get in on Wilds. And they're got a lot of interesting stuff going on. They showed some funny stuff in some of the trailers. Like at one point, like mid-hunt, one of the guys just busts out the rod and starts fishing.
Mm-hmm.
They have kind of talked about how they're kind of expanding their mechanics for calling for help to include being able to summon NPC hunters as well if you're in trouble, which is interesting because on the one hand, I do think that, like, in general, it seems like one of the big things about World was like calling for backup and like kind of the whole like online community thing. But also, I think in general, being able to call forth NPCs if you're in trouble, probably a decent idea. What if your internet's shitty right now? Yeah, that's good. I think the biggest one, besides showing off some new looks, there was a freaky flower spider that I think was new. I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure the dragon lizard who shoots lightning from its face was not new. but it could have been. It looked cool though. But spider, creepy spider. Many Elden Ring players making Scarlet Rot jokes because it does kind of look like that part of the map in Elden Ring with all the scarlet everywhere. But I think one of the big ones was they did mention among several other quality of life stuff that. So a lot of the internet phrased it as they're no longer gender locking armor. That's not exactly how it works. It's that you'll be able to select multiple styles for how your armor looks, and so that will allow you to apply the looks previously used for female characters on male character skeletons and the looks used for male characters on female characters, which generally there was much rejoicing.
Yes.
So yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. But yeah, like I said, I haven't looked at all the summaries, but yeah, I know. There's I've heard a lot about Monster Hunter Fashion, which I think they've even said some more about how they're going to get into it. But let me try scrolling over to our games channel to see if somebody posted some lists. But there's a lot of like I said, there's a lot of press they've been running with it, so a lot of good summaries coming out. You get some low-level mats immediately when you break. That's good. Got some characters and stuff, some tutorials and stuff. Pretty normal stuff, looks like. I do kind of like some interesting stuff they're talking about, like, you have to place your pop-up camp strategically because that's where your NPC hunters will spawn from. So, like, if you, like, put them somewhere and you go far away when you need to call for help, it's gonna be a while. Also, they can get attacked. This is interesting stuff. But yeah, they're cranking. They're scrunkling. Like, it's gonna be a good time.
What's down for a good scrunkle?
It'll be quite a scrap. One of the big ones for us, because we, like, literally just happened to be Civ-brained, in the past couple of weeks. Which was fortunate, because, like I said, I think I mentioned it, like, when it first came up. I was like, oh yeah, I saw when I reinstalled Civ 6 that they talked about the Civ 7 gameplay. But we did get some new Civ 7 stuff.
Yeah.
They had a big gameplay reveal. They've had several, like, content creators and outlets having hands-on and stuff previews. They did have a big gameplay reveal and a trailer. It's an interesting one. The new trailer looked pretty good. They showed some features that are pretty interesting, like no need for DLC or alternate modes. You're going to have, like, natural disasters in the base game. Navigable rivers is one of the craziest things I think they've shown that I'm just like, man, that's real good. It's really good of them. Rivers can be kind of annoying, but, that's a cool mechanic. But also, I think some more of the stuff they've been coming out with has been more, not quite controversial, but definitely more like people are like, I'm not sure about that yet. Some of it, of course, is, interestingly enough, like a lot of other games are doing, but Civ 7 is undergoing the modern, video game price hike. It's going to be $70 for the base game. You can pay like $100 for the, like, digital deluxe and get it like a day early and shit, and stuff like that. And then there's also a, like, physical collector's edition, which, once again, like, unfortunately a lot of games seem to do, don't actually come with a copy of the video game, I feel bad for people who want to go that route because, like, they want to support the game physically with tchotchkes, but it's kind of a pain in the butt to actually, like, get it because we just don't print CDs, I guess, anymore.
I cry.
I know. But, like, overall, they do say some interesting things. Now, I will say, I like some of the concepts for what they're going for. I am worried about the execution, honestly, is the main thing. One of the things they showed off in some of the gameplay previews that was literally something we were talking about is that it doesn't seem like necessarily you may need builders for tile improvements in the same way, because instead of, like they're kind of doing the district thing, but they're starting it earlier, so, like, literally no more builders. Okay, that's been confirmed. It was not clear from the initial gameplay wave, but I'm sure it was in some of the content stuff. So, like, now you don't just, like, build a granary and it nebulously goes into your, like, city center. You actually, like, lay down a granary on one of the hexes and it can expand into a district later. And it seems like they're talking about, like, levels for, like, your actual settlements. Like, when you start it, it's a town, but it may eventually, like, grow into a more specialized city and stuff like that. So they're doing some interesting things. And instead of, like, putting a builder to, like, improve your rock resource, you just build a mine on top of the resource you want to gather, stuff like that. So good. That's a thumbs up. That was always really annoying, like, keeping up with your fucking, like, builder building. Does not necessarily seem like they did actually go 2 full lines between building buildings and building units, but there may be, more avenues there. No more. It does seem like they're for now anyway removing faith as a resource you can spend. I'm sure that religious stuff will probably still be in the game because that's always been a major component. but they're probably not doing it like with a like tried and true resource pointage, which would be interesting. The big thing is they're doing a lot of shaking up to the way ages and leaders work. And I want to say this. I think the concept of what they're doing for ages seems okay. The primary thing, one thing that a lot of people are in general are having with is I think the Civ team misunderstood what the fantasy of civilization is. So one of the things they did, I should actually start with the other way around. The thing they've announced is they are dividing leader bonuses from civilization bonuses entirely. Your leaders are now separate. You keep leader continuity no matter what age or mode you're playing. And they've also diversified their list a little. Not only do you have like actual like heads of state, but also they're going to open it up to like philosophers, political thinkers, some of the characters who were like stuck as great people in the last game. So like I'm pretty sure they showed off Confucius, and Ben Franklin was mentioned. So like that's a completely separate thing that you can pick. Your leadership bonuses, you get them, you keep them the whole time. But I feel like the team at Firaxis and 2K like thought that people want to like role play or power fantasy as like Egyptian Ben Franklin, and I don't think that's correct because they're changing up how civs and civ bonuses work, and now civilizations will be tied to the age you are in. They advertise there are going to be 3 primary ages: Age of Antiquity, Age of Exploration, Modern Age. Now, Civ has always been very, like, pop history, like armchair history. Those of you who know thing about historical ages are probably a little cringy there. Because those are some interestingly different comparisons. I think, actually, Age of Exploration and, like, Modern Age are actually pretty decently tight windows that people can nail down. Antiquity is big, y'all. Like, we, in a sense of historiography, we define antiquity as, like, around, like, 3000 BC and stuff, when civilizations in, like, Mesopotamia and Egypt were getting started, usually to about the fall of the Roman Empire. So that's a lot of history,
I know. Like, I've always liked the how Civ 6 does it with, like, you have, like, the ancient age to the classical age to the medieval age,
And then, Renaissance after, and then I think it's industrial next, then modern?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, the ages come a little quicker. Sometimes they can come a little too quick, but, they're divided into more stuff there. I think they wanted to avoid specifically the phrase medieval age because, like, strictly speaking, the medieval period only occurred in, like, Europe and North Africa and a little bit of the Middle East, but it is, like, an important transitional period. It's not like, China and Africa and stuff were doing nothing in those times. They were doing their own things.
I honestly, I think you can still say that, like, China and Japan, like, had medieval ages.
Yeah,
like,
they were at slightly different periods.
They were slightly different periods, but, like, and while Europe, like, a lot of Europe, like, most of Europe, actually, I don't know what was happening in Russia's, like, medieval age. I don't actually know a lot about Russian history.
Russia's a little weird, because, like, there were some guys in Russia, the Rus and stuff. Some of the Slavic peoples were, like, also the Nordic peoples, but some of them weren't. But also they had to deal with, like, the Scythian, like, steppe nomads, which was also eventually included, like, sudden outbreaks of Huns and Mongols, So, like, the Russian territory went through some stuff. But they, there were ancient, Slavic peoples, and I think probably even some Celts up in some parts of, the Russian sphere for a long time. I think the other weird thing is, like I said, probably should have stuck something between Antiquity and Exploration. Yeah, because I don't know what they're going to do there, because the Age of Exploration is usually dated to somewhere in the 1400s, 1492 Columbus sailed the ocean blue and stuff. And I mentioned before that Antiquity usually ends at around 500 BC or AD with the fall of the Roman Empire, so, like, I guess we're kind of just going to squish that into the medieval stuff. So that's a little odd.
Weird.
It's a little odd. Also, this is just my personal pet peeve, but I have to say it. I'm annoyed with their obsession with the ancient or antiquity age. They talked about the modern age, and they're like, from the steam engine to splitting the atom, and I'm like, guys, please, we built the first atom bomb nearly 80 years ago. Literally, it was in 1945. It's almost been 80 years.
Like, we really should have the information age minimum, and then maybe the space age.
Yeah, like,
future age.
Give me, like, at least... they showed, like, an Apollo-style rocket, so I'm sure there will be, like, a moon landing project or another, like, spaceport thing you can build, but, like, I don't know. I'd prefer to be advertised to that a little. Like, there's a lot of like ultra modern and even like near future tech that would be really interesting without even going that far afield into the future. Like, I think Civ 6 may have at the very end of some tech trees like solar power, and I think like there might be like windmills, but especially for like if we're dealing with pollution and natural disasters again, I would like that to be a genuine strategy to actually like try and go like eco-friendly. Unfortunately, Civ 6, they did a thing that I think is neat, but is not necessarily for everybody, including myself. A lot of their future tech plans got lumped into the giant death robot, which is kind of like a sub-tech tree thing. They originally planned a much more robust future tech problem, but they really got on board with like improving the giant death robot. And I guess by the way normal Civ games go, if you get to the building a giant death robot stage, it kind of makes sense to like go all in on making it really cool. That's not necessarily what I want. I admit I'm spoiled. I've brought this up before. My first Civ game was the first Call to Power game. It was not technically by like Sid Meier's people. It was licensed through Activision. I should do like a whole fucking PowerPoint presentation on Call to Power sometime. I think I've tried to see if I could stream it before, but OBS doesn't like it because it's fucking ancient. But I actually own like I think you can buy Call to Power 2 because Activision lost the license on Steam. And it's basically the same game, but with a different name and some slightly improved tech stuff. But Call to Power was really interesting because not only did it do... First of all, it did some stuff that I think was unique, because it was like... This was between Alpha Centauri and Civ 2. So it did some stuff that was semi-unique. It actually had pollution as a factor, which is something that like Civ 6 added in an expansion, like actually keeping track of like pollution and rising ocean levels and shit. So like... Starting in the industrial age, Call to Power would actually keep track of that. So, like, there was actually an incentive for, like, switching from coal to, you know, nuclear or solar power. The other thing was that game's calendar ended at the year 3000 AD. So they had a very robust... They had 2 whole future ages. They had their, like, front half was a little compacted. I think it goes, like, ancient or antique era, and then, like, Renaissance, and then, like, modern. Meaning like similar to how Civ means modern, but they had the genetic age and then the diamond age. So like you got into some really freaky future tech shit that I really miss. One thing that I don't like about Civ games is that all these maps are covered in fucking deep water you can't do anything with. Like maybe eventually you might get to making oil rigs, but I think you still have to have like ownership of that tile. In Call to Power, you could build undersea cities. You could build underwater, you know, tube trains between your land cities and your sea cities. You could build space colonies in Call to Power. One thing I really liked about Call to Power, you could build a wonder called the Space Elevator, which automatically constructed a space city over the ground city you built it in. Very fun. But also, you could build mass drivers in your city, so you could shoot cargo containers with soldiers into orbit and have them fucking deep strike behind enemy lines. And on the one hand, I really shouldn't, because it's not that bad, but I'm kind of like, man, modern civilization could never. I actually don't know. I think that was in Beyond Earth, but Beyond Earth had other problems. But yeah, so like I'm spoiled because I'm used to like very robust future tech shit. And I kind of wish Civ would get a little better about that. They might, because what they are saying with the 3 different ages is that you will be able to play a game entirely in one of the ages, or you can do multi-age games. And this is interesting because your civilizations now are locked to each age or era. So no longer will you necessarily have to worry about, say, and this is actually, I think, is a balanced thing that I kind of like. I agree with the text of what they're doing, not necessarily with like how it's going to shape up, but like the idea is sound. You know, you're playing a Civ game. Some of you have like early game Civs. You know, you have special units that are relevant in like, you know, the ancient era or the classical era, right? You know, you have very early production ramps. And then usually you have later stage civs like, I usually think like USA or, you know, America really can't get going until you're somewhere near industrial or modern, because you need like electrification usually to build movie theaters or shit like that, you know? Mm-hmm. I think one of the Special America units is P-51 Mustang, so you need, you know, fighter planes to get that normally kind of thing. So like... Playing Civ takes a long time, guys. Even when you're on speed mode, we've started several Civ games trying to nail down our ideal conditions. and we may or may not go back to playing Civ once again after the show is done recording. But like it takes a while to get to electrification and stuff, so like it can be disappointing to pick a Civ whose whole thing is late game and you just never get to the late game. Not even if you're in multiplayer, but also just like, what if you get fucking creamed in the Ancient Age because the AI randomly gets a civilization that is designed to like pump science early, right?
Yeah.
So like I understand what they're going for, but this is the thing I was talking about earlier. I think the Civ team misunderstood the part that is like the fantasy, the feel for the players. I don't think that people want to play, President of the United States Cleopatra or Egyptian Ben Franklin. I think they want to play like, hey, what if I was the Aztecs, but I built submarines? Like, I think that's what people who play Civ want.
Yeah, no.
So there are a lot of people who are kind of weirded out by this idea of like, okay, so in the Ancient Age, I'm Egypt. And then when we get to the Age of Exploration, Egypt goes away. All of my Egypt stuff, not necessarily all of your Egypt stuff, but most of the stuff that made you Egypt is gone. You got to pick a new Civ to be. So now I guess I'm just like, the, Persian Caliphate or something, or I'm from some other North African. Or they've said that there are some situations that are based on like what resources you have. So apparently you can just become the Mongol Empire if you have enough horses collected, which is a little weird. And I don't know if these things, because, this is all obviously like people getting like early beta press copies of the like game, they're playing at some press events and stuff. So I don't know if some of this will get ironed out before the game actually comes out in February of next year, but it's a little odd, and I think it's going to probably turn off some players. And also it's definitely interesting to see the fact that like, they're like, oh, you can play a game just in one age. Oh, there are going to be so many people who are just going to play Antiquity Age games only because that's the only place you're going to be able to play the cool civs that people like. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, one of the natural evolutions is probably going to be, like, in Antiquity, start as the Romans, move on to being, like, the Holy Roman Empire, or something, something similar. Maybe, like, Vatican States, or maybe you can be a Venetian merchant empire. That could be cool. And then, you get to the modern age, and you're, like, unified Italy, right? Or maybe you're unified Germany. Something like that. Also, like... we don't really. I don't like to get into this part of the politics because it's not really something I have a bone to pick with. But it is a little weird that you're probably still going to be picking like indigenous civs like the Aztecs or the Mayans, and then you have to transition to successor states. Most of those successor states are going to be built by colonial empires. Like, it's a little weird, and I don't think everybody's going to be okay with that because like we said, it's not really what people are playing for. So we'll see how it goes over. Civ is not necessarily there for like historical accuracy. So like you'll probably get some weird stuff that still lines up, but it's an odd thing. And I think you yourself said you think the age is a little odd as well.
Yeah, well, no, because me personally, I enjoy like if people know Lucky likes fiddly bits. I like it when things are broken up and things. So no, I've really always liked it. Like in Civ, I think I played some Civ 5, but for the life of me, I can't remember it. But I do know Civ 6, and I do like the ages of like start. Me personally, I love starting in Antiquity and trying to make to the modern age. We don't always make it.
Yeah, because Civ games are long, and sometimes you get hosed.
And sometimes you get hosed. But I always enjoy the journey of like getting there, building wonders and stuff. But never. Like you mentioned, you mentioned the thing about you being Aztecs, but you wanted to build submarines. I'm like, yeah, no, that's what I play Civ for. I want to play fucking Tokugawa Ieyasu, but I want to make him faith-based, and I want to make a cult around monster ghouls, and I want to see how far that gets me. That's why I play Civ. So trying all this other stuff to like switch things up, I'm like, no, that's not exactly what I want. Like, I like having multiple ages. I like having my leader do like interesting stuff because if Civ 7 is going to be like Civ 6, there's still going to be a lot fucking based on RNG. And I can understand kind of switching up how your leaders act and stuff and what bonuses get might help with that. But at the same time, I'm just like, well, I feel like then what I did in the previous age didn't actually matter at all. If I just, switch off the leader I was using. So I'm just like
and I believe the way they've pitched it is you get to keep your leader no matter what. Your leader bonuses are static, which probably means they're not as important. and then you're gonna try and like line that up with what civilizations you can be. And like I said, I appreciate the effort of trying to like, and I think it's genuine like game design on their part to be like, okay, no longer do you have to worry about being a late game civilization or a early game civilization. When you're in the early game, all the civs are early game civs, you know? Like, okay, good. That's better for balance. But that doesn't feel as right, you know? Like, some of them, again, are going to be logical. Like, I bet for Japan, you're going to be able to play, like, you know, depending on how specific they want to get, it'll probably be, like, you know, Heian-era Japan or, like, you know, Sengoku-era Japan to, like, Shogunate Japan, which if they do that, please make their Age of Exploration era text about telling other exploring civilizations to fuck off.
Yes,
the country is closed. Go home. And then, you know, transfer to a modern society. You can probably get away with calling that the Empire of Japan because, like, Hearts of Iron exists. But, like, that would probably be, like, the jump. And it would be, you know, interesting to see that. And hopefully, if you want to keep that continuity, it's not a pain in the ass to just pick that, like, development, right? Like, you know, or for China, God knows the way China has been, they've, you know, broke again and then they're whole again and then they broke again, you know, kind of a thing, right? Like, there's so many different stages of Chinese history you could pull from for civs. You can make that work, you know? But if it's, like, how does that work, like, again, like I said, with the, like, oh, well, you know, when you advance ages, if you have enough horses, you can become the Mongols. If I have enough boats, do I get to become Vikings? But also, wouldn't Vikings exist in antiquity anyway? Because, like, you know, again, the UK, like, you know, you can go, like, the medieval or ancient, you know, British kings and lords and stuff, and then, you know, probably get somewhere in, you know, like, an actual, like, unified British Empire, the sun never sets shit, and then, you know, you get Victorian, Age of Steam and stuff. Okay, alright, cool, but, again, what if it gets weird? And, like, I like a little bit of weird, but also, I think most players just want to play the game how they want to play the game, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you want to just be able to, like, pick your strat and go with it. And I think kind of, it sounds like what is going to happen is that you're going to get issues of your civilization of that era, your age bonuses and stuff and unique units are going to be tied to different civilizations. So that, unless they're, like, very clear, like, distinguished, like, to each phase, that means you might get some disruption in players' game plans, which, if there's anything I know personally, and also from experience with other people playing Civ, there's nothing more annoying than having your game plan disrupted.
Oh, man, Lucky actually had to rage quit, like, 2 games ago. Like, genuine rage quit.
It was bad. Well, trust me, we've been trying to figure out this barbarian thing. I think we got a good handle on it, but it was not perfect because even with clans and, like, doing some mods and stuff, I think all three of us, Lucky Loth and I did a 3-man team Civ game. I want to play more teams with more teams.
Yeah,
three AI on the other side. I mean, I like it because it literally gives us knowledge of each other right off the bat, which is good, you know, so we know what each other's up to and stuff. And we, like, share maps. Each of us experienced a situation where just outside of our visible range, a brand new barbarian camp spawned when an age began, and they were just assholes to us. Mine, I think, literally spawned where I was going to build a city next. And yeah, I was ahead on the curve on cities. That doesn't mean that I didn't have to derail my whole everything to build, you know, fucking cavalrymen and chariots and quatrimes and, you know, go huck rocks at these guys, who, by the way, were spawning with, like, you know, advanced level shit. Like, that guy was just puking out crossbowmen and men-at-arms. And I'm like, man, dude, this don't feel good. Hold on, I gotta go fucking hire Hippolyta to come beat these guys up. Which I do approve. The Heroes and Myths mode, very cool. Thumbs up, like it.
Honestly, I think one of the things I kind of wish that technology level was limited by the age we're in. And even if you make it to that tree until we actually advance the age, you can't go further on in it.
And I'm kind of curious because it sounded a little bit like that may be more the direction that Civ 7 is going. Maybe, like, as an optional rule even. Because, like, especially if the game only covers, like, to an effect of a certain age, I imagine at some point that means you've got to cut off the tech tree, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that would be interesting because, yeah, that is a problem we run into, like, because this is another thing that's, like, you know, how this whole, like, Civ switching and leader keeping thing will work. Because it's like, well, what if your Civ sucks, Because it might happen, because, like, there are many, build-ins. I mean, I don't think no science-based Civs. I think it's just that it's really annoying when you're not science-based if you randomly get one of the science-based AI leaders and they just fucking turbo down the tech tree and, like, I don't want to have to deal with barbarians wielding rocket launchers while I'm still figuring out, like, boats. Which is an exaggeration, but is kind of what it's like, So I'm curious. I haven't seen any barbarians in any of the trailers yet. They have talked about what no longer are they city-states, they are independent powers, which I think gives them some more flexibility, which is nice.
I think that's neat.
So, like, you can befriend independent powers and side with them. Maybe you can even, like, absorb them into your empire to, like, build new, like, confederate states and stuff, alliances and so on. So, also, if they're independent powers and they're not necessarily city-states, maybe they don't like you and they're going to beat you up. Yeah, like, I'm not going to say that, like, you can't get any crazy breakthroughs, but also it is, like, it does not necessarily make sense to, have to deal with the fact that, like I said, I've played some games against, like, Korea or China, I think are usually the early game science turbo civs in 6. I've played some games where I felt like I'm barely discovering fire, and these guys are developing, like, cold fusion, And it's just, like, I understand that the AI needs a certain amount of edge because the way players can play, and some people do play Civ, like, you can do some fucking bullshit, man. You can do some wombo combo shit. So I'm not gonna say it's wrong that, like, the AI can't take advantage of that as well, but also, like, it's still really annoying to be fucking, dragged kicking and screaming into a new technological era when, Lucky likes to play faith-based civs.
Yep.
I usually try and go for, like, economic or, like, culture-based stuff is I think really interesting. I've played some civ games in, like, I think I pretty robustly played 5, and like I said, I've played Call to Power before. I've done some domination victories where we just blow everybody up. That can be fun too. Generally, I don't like to do it though, because usually warfare is really tedious in Civ games. I usually like to fight defensive wars, or occasionally wars where I'm just like, hey, AI, you stole my fucking land, you piece of shit. I'm gonna kick your ass. But once I've got my land back, I don't care anymore, Because it's tedious, because building units takes away from me building, more buildings to produce more money and science money and more production. And it will be interesting because I will say I like the concept of, like, an age of exploration and, like, growing the map size, because that is something I actually kind of like in Civ games, is the explore part of 4X. Like,
oh yeah,
especially with navigable rivers, like, depending on how big your turf is, I've always liked, being able to just send out guys, and, like, this is one of the advantages of, like, I usually play in our games, Britain, of just being like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna explore. Ooh, that's a cool new island that's got some shit on it I want that nobody's living on. Yoink!
I know.
Yeah. You see these bananas? You see this tea? You see this shiny rock? Mine. You see these potatoes? These are my potatoes now.
Maybe we should play islands next time, so we have to do a lot of water-based movement. Also, might fuck over some. Well, no, then we get a lot of water-based barbarians, but it could be fun.
I mean, I would probably switch back from Age of Steam to the default England, because they get a free unit spawn with every harbor they build. But I'm willing to be Team UK boat police.
Boat police.
And by the way, I like to play as England in Civ 6 because Civs like America are, like, so late game focused, and also, while I appreciate what they're going for with, like, that one version of Teddy Roosevelt, being based around, like, tourism and national parks is, like, so weirdly niche, and once again, is RNG dependent. To make a national park, you need to get, like, 4 contiguous hexes that are unspoiled. What if that doesn't happen? Or it's way the fuck out of my way? Am I supposed to, like, kill other civilizations to steal their beauteous tiles to make national parks? That's a little weird. But yeah, no, like, so, like I said, I'm not, like, completely turned off the game. At this rate, I'll probably wait until, like, initial reviews come out. Maybe it goes on sale, and,
I'll probably wait for their first patch.
Yeah, wait for some patches. And I will say this. I am confident that no matter what, Civ 7 will probably eventually be something worth buying and checking out, because I hope that they keep this through. Civ 6, with their, like, DLCs, their expansion packs, and their leader passes, their, quote-unquote season passes, all that content was really good. Like, that was worth paying for. The stuff they added in, like, Rise and Fall and Gathering Storm, and then the leader pass things, which also came with those extra game modes, like Heroes and Myths, like the one that lets you do like the very minimal like corporations and monopolies stuff for like extra resources and stuff. Like all that's really good. So like I'm confident that eventually 2K can keep this up. I do have to eventually check out Humankind. I think it was actually Aaron who got that for me a few years back, but I could not run that real good on old PC. I should install it on new PC and actually try it out, because it sounds like the new Civ is taking some cues from that. They're trying to like learn some stuff that game did and kind of like do their own twist on it. But also, I think a lot of people complain, like one of their complaints about Humankind is that you kind of do that culture switching thing, but you do it a lot. So, like, people are not as happy about that. But I'd be interested to see, because it does genuinely sound like Humankind actually, like, gave Civ the kick in the pants to actually try and, like, re-examine their formula, And that's good, at least, for you to re-examine values, but we'll see what's up. And as always, everybody cries that there's no, like, modern remaster or proper spiritual sequel to Alpha Centauri, another game that is just bonkers, but in a different way. Alpha Centauri is another game. I played it more recently, but it's another 4X game that I really like. But I just really like it because it's fucking crazy and sci-fi. We must dissent. But yeah, anything else you want to say about the stuff coming out of Civ 7, Lucky?
No, like I said, I am interested in it. Like I said, I'm interested, but I'm wary. And I don't think I'm gonna be losing my interest in Civ 6 anytime soon.
No, we're just getting our juice back.
Yeah, the juice center.
And like I said, there are some people who are still diehards for Civ 5. I haven't booted up Civ 5 in fucking forever, so I can't really remember what the gameplay is like. But yeah, so it may just be that we don't like how Civ 7 is when it launches, and we'll keep playing Civ 6 or other shit.
Other shit.
There was a very funny trailer where like Bethesda and Starfield made a really big deal over you can get a car that you can drive as a free update.
Yeah.
Which is very funny. And then also they are actually doing an expansion pack, so we'll have to see if that makes Starfield cooler. Let's see. Something that is also kind of interesting, Marvel Rivals got an official release date. It's coming out on December 6th, and I think they did their, what is probably going to be their number one Overwatch killer move. They announced that all heroes at drop will be free, and all future unique units will be free. So you will not have to purchase new characters or fuck with any of that. So it'll just be in the updates. And like it's so funny because like this feels like they're actually attempting to build an Overwatch killer. But going back to talk about some stuff we talked about in the pre-show, talking about Blizzard. Blizzard has fumbled the bag so bad over the last couple of years that like they've actually put themselves in a situation where Overwatch can be killed, which is kind of wild to think about. Like, do y'all remember when Overwatch dropped? It was a thing, okay? I know, I was there. I played Overwatch. I quickly got kind of turned off of Overwatch because it does the same like kind of content mill that every of those sorts of games go, which is, you have like 2 weeks a month playing, normal ladder and stuff, and then 2 weeks a month playing a limited time event. You can only get these skins during this event. Oh, well, did you not get enough loot boxes? Oh, well, you better spend money to buy coins. And just kind of being like, I don't actually like this game that much for that. Yes, I do want to, dress up Mercy like a witch, or many other things, but do I want to spend my life doing nothing but playing Overwatch? No, I already have. Here's my secret, chat. My deep lizard brain has already been pre-programmed. I am already mentally damaged by something called the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. That kind of deep level programming, even when I wasn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, has shielded me from all future gaming obsessions. Other than maybe Final Fantasy 14, but also the way 14 does content is nothing like live service games now do. It's a very traditional MMO style thing in that sense, but also I like it. But yeah, no, like, I'm thinking about it like, what's the only game that I am willing to, put in a couple hours a day to grind due to seasonal events? Hey, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. That's it. That's why I have like 1,000 hours in that game. I'm not necessarily happy, but I'll play it so I can be happy later. I've managed to save up like 4,000 gems over the latest event, so when they drop a pack that I actually fucking care about, we're going to be in there, chat. We're going to make a new deck right away, as opposed to waiting like 4 months to get enough fucking dust. Anyway, Marvel Rivals may actually punch Overwatch's ticket, because I do believe from the beta and stuff, people also are saying it's fun, which is neato. So chronologically, this is about when I think the thing that was for both of us the big standout reveal. The head of Blur Studios came up on stage, who also, I did not realize that the Blur guy, who is also responsible for launching Love, Death, and Robots, is also the guy who directs Deadpool.
Yeah.
And so I was like mind blown. That guy does good work. Well, apparently he's doing some more good work, chat.
Yeah.
Because they announced Secret Level, a animated anthology series based on video game franchises that's going to be on Amazon Prime in December 10th. And boy, howdy, was it a good look. It was a good-looking trailer.
No, I'm excited.
Yeah, no. Blur obviously known for their, revolutionary, cutting-edge cutscene technology. Like, they do some of the greatest video game cinematics and trailers you've ever seen. And they also, are one of the studios that helps, like I said, bring together Love, Death, and Robots. They usually do 1 or 2 shorts a season. And I remember that you said when this guy came on stage, you were like, oh shit, I should check if there's a new season of Love, Death, and Robots. And I was like, I'm pretty sure there hasn't been. And then he announced this, and I was like, I think I realized why there hasn't been another season. He's been working on this. But it's going to be pretty interesting, because they have a wide variety of titles. Some stuff I recognized right away was Mega Man's in there, Pac-Man, Sifu, which is going to probably be pretty interesting.
Yep. They did come out actually with a list. Oh, there it is. Thank you.
Okay, somebody got the list. Yes, thank you. There was some Warhammer 40k stuff in there, which is going to be really interesting, because Warhammer does also have some really interesting shorts. There are some modern games in here, though. In addition to Sifu, there's also the New World Eternum game from not too long ago, Outer Worlds. They're doing a D&D short, which is really interesting. People are very happy. Apparently, they've got a newer redesign to the 5-headed evil dragon goddess Tiamat that people don't like, and they're using her old design in the short. Also, yes, Tiamat's in the teaser trailer for the D&D segment, so that'll be interesting to see.
Meh. Not my Tiamat.
Not your favorite Tiamat. But, I got stuff like Spelunky in here. The Mega Man one is kind of wild, I think, but that's cool to see as well. But, I think one of the more interesting things was Armored Core's in there. They're doing an Armored Core short, and it appears that Keanu Reeves is going to be starring. So that's probably going to be pretty interesting. And then a lot of people are curious because... in the tweet that was linked in our Patreon chat, it shows Kratos in there. The phrasing was various PlayStation titles. So a lot of people are like, PlayStation Battlestar Royale short, which it could be. Because, this is just Kratos chilling in, New York City or London or something, it looks like.
Yeah.
He's just vibing. So yeah, no, this sounds super interesting, super hype. Very interested to see it. And you brought it up, and I concur that I think this is... technically the most hype run that was kind of announced, because it's just cool looking.
Yeah.
There was a very interesting pop-up where Peter Molyneux popped on stage, announced a new game. This was kind of interesting because I even said, as he appeared, don't believe his lies. Peter Molyneux is known for exaggerating about game features and straight up lying. I think he was asked in an interview of, do you think you're a pathological liar? I don't remember what he said to that, but, it's the kind of thing that people think about. But he brought forth a new game, and a lot of people are like, nope, don't trust it. I think he's a grifter who was in with them NFT games. I'm gonna be honest, Masters of Albion, yes, don't believe it when Peter Molyneux pitches you anything crazy. I don't actually think he pitched anything crazy.
No, he just pitched a game.
Yeah, I don't actually think he, at least in this initial, trailer and press release, he pitched anything out of the ordinary for a game that's coming out in, 2024, 2025, It's gonna be a, god game with some city building, and it's also gonna have some Dungeon Keeper type elements, because you can kind of, send out individual units to fight stuff and can take them over for, third-person action gameplay.
No, it looks like he really tried to combine Black and White, Dungeon Keeper, and Fable all into one game.
Yeah, basically, he's just doing his greatest hits. The big hook, besides just that, seems to be that there is going to be a factor where you can kind of basically recombine any of the game's pre-made assets freely. So you can, when you're designing food to feed your, people in your city, you can, build them a sandwich of just, bread and bread, or weird shit like that. You can build, your buildings, make them like 3 stories tall and pink. You can combine bread with a sword hilt to make a bread sword, but it's not very good, so you should just make a sword. And like, yes, that's probably the most ambitious, but also like, it's not like he didn't like say, we've got 10,000 combinations. It's just, hey, anything that's in the game, like anything that's an asset in the game, you can combine with like another asset. And some of them are probably going to be stupid and not do anything. So like, I don't know. It seems like a very mild press for people to get really on like, you can't trust Peter Molyneux. I mean, you can't trust him, but also like, he's not selling anything right now. He's released what seems like a normal game trailer. Believe about as much of it as you would from any other normal game trailer.
Yeah.
Drop the cap to my water bottle. I think I stepped away for a little bit after this, but the interesting thing was we also got we're getting some of the reverse, but Microsoft and Bethesda announced that after a period of limited exclusivity on console to Xbox and also coming first to PC on December, after about a quarter, we're going to get the Indiana Jones game on PS5. Guess where I will be purchasing the Indiana Jones game? Actually, I should just certify that as, guess what, I'll be purchasing the Indiana Jones game, because I wasn't going to buy that shit while it was on Xbox.
I'm going to be real. I'm not even sure if I'm going to buy it on PlayStation. I'm not sure about this game.
I mean, I'll see. It's kind of interesting, because, like, on the one hand, like, Todd Howard is, like, really excited about it on a personal level. He's like, man, I really want to make this game, So, like, he seems personally interested. And it seems like a cool concept. It seems like it's kind of like, it's a little more first-person-y than, like, an Uncharted, Like, you can do first-person segments, but also do third-person. And unfortunately, we're going to have to come to the conclusion that I don't think Neil Druckmann is going to make another Uncharted game anytime soon. So, like, this may be our best bet to get one of those, but it is still a Bethesda game. So, yeah, I don't want to, like, 100% commit to getting this either. But it is much more likely I will pick this game up on PS5, maybe on sale even, than I would have when it was on Xbox. See, and we're already getting the parasocial content creator stuff. People in Patreon chat are saying, "Oh, they'll let me play it, and if I say it's good, I can sell it." And hey, that may be how it is. Like I said, I'll see reviews. There was an interesting, like, kind of one last thing that came out, which was pretty neato. Get a new Mafia game.
Yeah, Old Country. No, like, this one was interesting because where I was looking, I was like, this has some real Mafia vibes, but
yeah, I caught on. I think like halfway through the trailer before they actually showed the title, because specifically the guy speaking in a mafiosi accent was like, this thing here, it's our thing. I know this because of Snow Crash and other stuff, but if you don't know, the phrase Cosa Nostra, which refers to the Sicilian mafia, literally means in like the Italian Sicilian dialect, our thing. So I was like, oh, you called it our thing. Is this some sort of mafia game? And then I was like, oh yeah, shit, it's a mafia game. Good trailer. I like when the trailers give you just enough that you can be pretty sure about a guess, and then they drop the title and you're like, yeah. So that's neat. I've played a little bit of the Mafia games, and this one's gonna be, historical.
I've only really played Mafia 3, but I like what I played so far.
Yeah, I played a chunk of it when it was on PS Plus, I think. It didn't complete the game, but, that's because the backlog is infinite.
The backlog is infinite.
But it seemed perfectly functional, and so, like I said, I'm not averse to them rolling out another one. Again, anything that'll make Rockstar be on their fucking toes, I don't actually want, like, quote unquote, genre killers, but I would like it if there was some competition in the game sphere that, like, game studios felt like they had to actually bring their A game,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was some other stuff in there. I didn't know I was going to mention in this article. I was just skimming for highlights, but there was a launch trailer for Black Myth Wukong, which is been an interesting story case. I will say some people are super positivo about it. I am double checking the Metacritic score. 81, pretty good, but not perfect.
Pretty good.
Critic reviews tend to be in the mostly green and a few yellows. There's some like 70s. Oh, somebody even gave it a 60. Interesting. I may look at that later. And I have been hearing that there are some performance issues on PC. God knows when there isn't. But that one's been really interesting because, like, it looks good. It looks exciting. We've seen some trailers ourselves. It looked all right. But when it actually came out, it kind of took everybody by surprise, I want to say, because it was doing numbers.
Big number.
Yes.
Somebody go up.
Like, blew away lots of, like, concurrent players and stuff issues because on Steam it had something like 2 million concurrents. And obviously people are like, okay, hold on. How is this happening? Well, it turns out in kind of I don't want to say quite a trick, because I do not know if this is actually necessarily intended with the Steam number specifically, but an interesting quirk of locality is that while technically they have their own watered-down version of the client that is, like, officially available in mainland China, it's been reported to me and to us, like, on our Discord from some people who know, that it's also fairly easy to access just regular Steam in mainland China, and, like, they even have the currency conversion and everything, so you can pick up Black Myth Wukong there, and that seems to be the primary source of those Steam numbers is actual players in China. This has reported some interesting behavior where, like, at certain times of day, all of the Blacksmith Wukong players go away, and people are like, oh, how is this happening? Oh, it's a flop. They lost 4 million players in a day. No, they didn't lose 4 million players in a day. Those concurrent players were, I think some of them were being double counted, because, like I said, of that client thing. But also, hey, most of those players are probably in China or other parts of East Asia, and they have to sleep sometime. Like, that is a joke I'm stealing. I have seen several people tweet that, but also I agree. It's like, yeah, no shit. You know, and the reason for this is that while the Chinese government, the CCP, and this is something I do want to underline, because I know that this bothers some people, too often I think people conflate the nation of the Chinese with, like, the, whatchamacallit, you know, like a monoculture, like they're all in on it. No, most of them are just living in China. But the CCP, the Chinese government, the PRC, have some restrictive rules on gaming they've implemented over the years. They've really tried to limit the amount of, like, screen time, especially young people have. They want to be very careful about, like, the spending you do on gaming and stuff. I'm not exactly sure what their exact, you know, design for that is, other than just lots of general, like, entertainment controls. And it's not even necessarily, like, trying to keep outside influences, because a lot of the games they're also restricting in those senses are still homegrown games, like, not even games like the MiHoYo games get a free pass on that, you know? But they seem to be doing things slightly differently for Black Myth Wukong, which is entirely developed in China. You know, both the publisher and the developer, I believe, are based in Beijing. So, it was apparently heavily pushed on, like, state media channels, like the official TV, you know, channels of the state were playing ads for this game and stuff. So the numbers are high because it is a, you know, homegrown Chinese game made in China about Chinese culture stuff. It's about Wukong myths and stuff. But also it was being, you know, piped to these people in the cultural zone by state-run media. And so it's got a pretty big player swing. It's one of those things where, like, it's not, like, inherently wrong, but it definitely feels a little bit like cheating. Like, we're definitely massaging those numbers, you know? But I'm kind of interested to see, like how this plays out, because, like I said, some people, like, even over here are, like, really into it. I've heard a couple of, you know, streamers and stuff say that it might be their Game of the Year contender. But also, like, I haven't been hearing a lot about the game itself. We've got a couple of people in our patron chat who've played it, and they're like, yeah, it's fun, it's fine, you know? And even people saying, like, you know, it's good, I like it. I haven't seen anybody in our Discord being like, ooh, Game of the Year contender, you know? But it's an interesting one. There's also, like, a sub-tweet about this. Also, by the way, I will say, I don't think it'll be Game of the Year with 81 Metacritic score. 69 critic reviews, nice. Even
Nice.
getting some, like, mixed reviews, to even, like, bad reviews from user score. It's still, like, an 8.1 based on user score, but, like, it's getting some feedback about some stuff. But there was also, like I said, there's a weird subtweet about this as well, because before the game came out, there were some documents and some agreements to streamers and content creators that were circulating that people found a little odd. And the part of this that was very interesting was that not everybody got these guidelines and advice. There were several, like, normal, like, journalism and review outlets, you know, the kind of bigger names you'd expect, who were like, thought this was a hoax at first because they didn't get this kind of documentation, which is also, to me, really weird. But, yeah, some people who were doing, like, streaming agreements and press stuff, and receiving free copies, got guidelines to do some things which were a little unusual. Some of it was the normal stuff, you know, don't, like, disparage other content creators or other games and stuff, you know, don't try and, like, do any kind of, like, negative feedback. But also some were odd, like, avoid politics, and also don't mention any quote-unquote feminist propaganda. which obviously some of you of my more savvy audience will be like, wait, isn't that also already inherently political? Yes, it's true. It's a little bit of an odd read. They also had comments to not mention what I believe in some versions of the email were called trigger words or trigger phrases like isolation, quarantine, and COVID-19. Again, a little odd. You wouldn't naturally bring those up, I think, when talking about or streaming Black Myth Wukong. I could see some people, like, just chatting shit, but also, like, probably not directly related. And also, a blanket, no criticism of China's policies and statements about gaming. So, I've heard some people kind of try and pass it off as, like, a cover your ass department. And I think some of it is probably a little bit like that, but I also am, like, I'm still a little myself, like, think it's a little odd when they're sending out these agreements and it's like not universal. Not everybody got these rules and ground rules, you know? That is kind of an interesting one. Ultimately, like with a lot of games that come out in some politically charged circumstances, you know, you guys could do your own research. It's your money. You do whatever you want with it. I know some people already have bought it and are enjoying it, but I'm one of those people who's like, man, that's a weird vibe, man. I don't know if that's for me. But also, I don't know if the game for me is in general. You know, a lot of people would. It's an action RPG that I think leans a little more on the Soulsy side.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting it, but I was like, no, I don't have time. I don't need to buy another game that I'm not gonna finish.
No, ain't that the truth. I'm like trying to work on my backlog myself. I think I'm committed to. I wanna wrap up Unicorn Overlord first, and then I want to see if I either want to finish P3R or I want to grab one of my backlog games.
You should probably finish P3R in my honest opinion.
Yeah, I probably should. I'm like halfway through the game. I'll clock it out. Because then I have to decide whether I want to pick up some newer stuff, like maybe Astro's Playroom, or go back to the games I missed in the great Unicorn Overlording and Final Fantasy Rebirth, like pick up like Rise of the Ronin and Stellar Blade. Yes, that's right, chat. That's where the fuck I am in my gaming calendar. I'm back there, you know. I mean, technically, not 100% true. I have finished MSQ on Dawn Trail, which was another, like, technically later purchase that I was in there, but yeah, no, the backlog's backlogging. So I got some stuff to chew out. So that is definitely like in my plans to go do. But also I'm doing other stuff with my friends, which is like playing Civ and other stuff. And I'm also just in the tank. Like I'm constantly in the tank thinking about rain stuff.
Yeah.
Like it'll be kind of interesting. I'm working on our next session of setup and like trying to put out hooks, and I'm like. There were some parts where I had to, like, actually check myself and be like, actually, you know what? Let's do some subtle foreshadowing, and, like, even though I have a cool idea for something, let's fucking bring that up later. This is a game that's supposed to, like, take place, you know, this game, the way the rules work, like, company stuff is supposed to take place over, like, several months. Let's put some shit on the back burner. Let's backburn some shit, okay? Especially because I know that you guys have, overall, kind of, like, I felt like a lot of the players have kind of been in a situation where, like, because of the current time frame we're at, it feels like sometimes you guys don't know, like, what you can do to work on your own personal like goals and foibles, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's something in like a couple of different sessions, like different players have been like, you know, I was planning on doing this, but something else came up, or I wanted to do this, but also I wasn't sure when the time was right. So I'm like, I want to macro out that time scale a little and start moving a little faster, while still leaving you guys time to do all the stuff you want to do, because that's the point. The point is that you guys get to like pursue your character goals, and then I'm gonna spice it up.
Nice.
And it's gonna be, I do need to be careful with that time span, because it is kind of the unfortunate thing that I did, warn everybody about, I did talk about, and I think you've got some solution to, but like, there are definitely gonna be, at least right now, more exposition scenes where Leslock sits in a room and listens to and occasionally talks to big name people that you guys are not necessarily going to be involved in right away. Though you do have the ability of Logesh to get in there. So, like, that, I definitely want to make sure that, like, while we are going to get these big exposition, world-building moments, which will definitely be seeding, like, long-term, high-level shit you can do. I want to know that usually you guys are pretty okay to just listen to me yap as NPCs, which I appreciate, but also I want you guys to get your shit done, too. That's the whole point. That's why I'm not just writing a book. Though, who knows, I may end up writing, rain-themed short fiction about NPCs. We got some fun characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, like, that's, like, my games like playing FF16 and like playing Unicorn Overlord, like, those already gassed me up to put me in the frame of mind to write for our Rain campaign, Noblesse Oblige. So, like, now I'm in the phase of, like, fleshing that out because I keep having new ideas of, like, shit in the background, designing more, like, backstory stuff and hidden factions, like, statting NPCs. Got a lot of funny little sorcery stuff going on, which is interesting because, like, and even to some characters are still, like, not focused on sorcery at all. But it's just, it's something that after actually fleshing out those spell lists, I was like, man, there's so much fucking world building I can do with this magic system. Yeah, 16's got me on the DLC backlog. That one I'm not sure when I do want to also clock out and buy the season pass, but I'm not sure when that'll fucking be exactly. Because I also wouldn't mind, especially if it is relatively close to when the PC version drops, which will be next month, would not mind maybe starting a stream run of 16. I don't know what our current timing is like. I think we're having fun doing, like, shorter projects right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know how, especially with the DLC, because I haven't played either of those yet, I do not actually know how long it would take to do a run of 16. I kind of want to share it with the people, but like I said, it's something I'd have to think about still. Let us know what you guys are vibing with. Like I said, I know that I think that interaction-wise, Lucky's Run X4 did pretty good. You guys were pretty in the chat about that. And got some, about average-ish to above-average views. Y'all were real good. Y'all really liked when we went back to GAC for an episode, though. And do all the blue quests. I mean, I would, because those are all good shit. But also probably wouldn't do, like, 100% completion on stream, because I don't actually know if you guys would enjoy, like, me just picking on random hunt guys and, like, beating them up for, like, 15, 20 minutes. If I was doing cool shit, you might like it. And I did get some slams, I got the trophy for, like, doing, like, 1 million damage and shit in stagger mode. Mm-hmm. So, like, I can do something resembling tech, but also, like I said, I don't know what the audience would like. Okay. Max took about 50 hours. Yeah, that would be a big commitment, I think. Even if we do some stuff off stream, because also I would probably be dumb and, like, lose sometime. I should actually check. I've still got my 16 save. I should check how long it took me, because I think basically literally everything you could do in base game on playthrough 1. Anyway, that's a slight aside. Rain sucks up a lot of my off time when not playing video games. So I do want to go back to my backlog, and I did decide that, like, yeah, I want to because it is relevant. I want to get back into Unicron Overload and chip away at that, because that gives me lots of fun. I will say it's interesting. I did pull up Metacritic to check on some stuff, and because Concord did officially drop, it is unfortunately a 69 on Metacritic, but it only has, like, 5 reviews right now, so that's a little loosey-goosey. That may kind of change up as we go on. Because I think some people played the beta and they kind of liked it. It is still a game that you're supposed to, like, rankle for, like, I think, like, $40 for the base. So I'm kind of like, even if it is more, like, interesting with, like, the character-driven stuff and even some, like, solo, time trials and stuff, I don't know if I'm, much like you said with Black Myth Wukong, I'm like, I don't know if I want to add something to my backlog. Something I may add to my backlog, though, which I'm very happy has been getting positive reviews, is Tactical Breach Wizards.
Yeah,
that game actually came out, and so far people seem to be liking it. If you don't know, it's kind of like an XCOM-like, or a little bit like, oh shit, what is that game called? Is it just called Door Breach? Door Kickers? That'd be Door Kickers. There's a tactical game that involves you kicking down doors. But it's in kind of a weird urban fantasy setting where, you're playing wizards. Weird wizards. Trying to stop wizard crimes. And, like, I just remember the first, like, initial trailer I saw, and it was, like, so interesting. It's on, like, slight sale that it's launched, but let's see if I can get the inclusion of let me see what the squad are. No, not on the Steam page. Yeah, one of them is the former Navy Seer, not SEAL. There's Traffic Warlocks and shit like that. Got, like, 90% positive reviews. So, like, yeah, it seems neat. I'm glad it was good. People are vibing. Let's see. Well, how long did we last? The raw show's about an hour 45. I still got a couple of points. I want to hit real quick. The real quick one that's more about me. I think I can speed run. Which is just, hey, you guys should stop playing D&D. You should play something different, or at least stop giving Wizards money. Because Wizards of the Coast still kind of sucks. Over the past week or so, they've been so Wizards is building up to a new edition. They're not calling it 6.0 or 5.5, but it's very clearly a iteration, like a new edition of D&D, right? Like a complete new balance change. Still supposed to be backwards compatible, but we'll see how long that lasts. And so that has been its own kind of complaints as they launch new books. But most importantly for D&D Beyond, the actual... Yeah, we're not calling it 5e 2024. We're going to call it 5.5, and they can live with it, because that's awful branding.
Yeah, we had 3.5. Everyone was okay with that.
Yeah, we should... I just think that, like I said, they really don't want you to think this is a new edition, because every time there is a new edition, there's a split, and they're really trying to avoid that. But yeah, they're changing stuff to make you want to buy new books. But also, on D&D Beyond, which is they bought a standalone character creator tracker campaign planner device, a VTT type thing, which they own, and you can buy digital versions of book content to unlock them for their official character builder, because of course the company that's owned by Hasbro came up with this. But also, guess what? They've been rolling out changes. They are automatically replacing all of their old shit with the new shit, even if you're not buying it yet or wanting to use it. And apparently it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to activate legacy toggles. So they are forcibly scooching everybody towards new content. Unfortunately, despite all their branding attempts to not make it seem like a new edition, this is, I think, the thing that's going to be probably the wedge that is probably going to drive a lot of people away, because, as I know from the way people who play D&D work, they don't want to buy new books yet. I mean, they do want to buy new books, but they don't want to buy new books. They don't like change, okay? So, and I think ultimately, because the internet complained about them anyway, most of the class upgrades are either just kind of generic good refinements, or just they change stuff to change stuff. I was talking about, they gave everybody a bit Ranger. By the way, Ranger still sucks, RIP. I don't know how they've managed to fuck this up for 2 editions in a row. But everything either got good stuff or kind of side grades. So and literally the head of the D&D brand, the way they phrased their plans for this new edition was okay, so imagine you're playing a game of Magic the Gathering, right? You have cool cards that are powerful in your deck, and you love them. And then we come up with a new card that's even more powerful, and you're like, man, I want to play that in my deck. They are literally talking about they want to cardboard crackify and power creep D&D so you keep buying new content. This is not a good look. I do not think this will go over well for them, especially because, once again, I think Paizo has their shit together right now. From what I've heard, if you are into that style of gameplay, Pathfinder 2e, pretty robust, has some pretty funny stuff in there. I believe they just released their, kind of Far Eastern style fantasy setting with some cool backgrounds and archetypes. So if in Pathfinder 2e you want to be a magical girl, or you want to be a half Oni, or any other kind of anime-ass bullshit, we got it. Which I'm yes, there you go. That's it. That's the game.
That's me.
We want to do weird shit.
That's me.
Yeah, no.
I am suddenly way more interested.
Yeah, no. I'll see if I can dig up some screen caps of some of the stuff if it's not too far in my backlog. Some people have posted some pictures of some of the new archetypes they're rolling out, and it's yeah, no, that's the good shit. Let us do weird side grade stuff. And I haven't done a deep dive because I know that there's no way I'm gonna play Pathfinder 2nd anytime soon. But I've actually skimmed some of the new books they put out when they were playtesting it. It's all right looking, they're doing stuff with picking archetypes and optional powers and a lot of building and customizing, these things. Where it seems like they've got the what we like to call the good shit. Let's see actions. It's just straight up a being a Yao Guai and different ancestry feats and abilities.
Yeah, Yao Guai.
They got Tanuki.
Listen, let me get my fucking Japanese weeb on, y'all. I understand myself. I am always gonna go that way. So no point in fucking fighting it. Just let me embrace it.
I mean, yeah, Yao Guai is just a honestly a very generic Chinese term for certain kinds of monsters, but that's being part Oni. And this is just some character backgrounds they have, which I saw some people say are very anime ass, which I agree with. You've got kaiju fighters, banished celestials, warded by the kami. I also just like professional letter writer. Because that was a profession. So, like, yeah, no, it seems like Paizo's got their thing together, so I feel like Wizards is gonna fumble the ball and have a bad time. Because, like, in general, it seems like they're trying to use their brand recognition to fundamentally alter the hobby of tabletop gaming so they can make more money. Like, they've talked before about what they want to do with D&D Beyond is they want to basically banish the Game Master. They want to allow you to do, like, AI-run DMing, where you just buy modules and the app, like, runs the bad guys for you and presents you the options so that you can just do stuff. You probably still need, like, somebody to, like, narrate box text and shit, because, you know, D&D Beyond will only display it on the screen. But, like, they're really interested in this idea, and I know why. Because they're doing it dumb. Because the Game Master is the whale of the tabletop RPG group. The Game Master is the guy who needs to buy all the new books. Usually they buy the rulebook first, they look at it, they go, hey, group, look at this cool new drug I found. This is basically how pitching tabletop RPGs go. Look at this kind of crack I've developed. I've discovered some real, new, dark, dank pack here. You heard of smoking dung beetles? How about you smoke some fucking kaiju? Hey, do you want to play Supernatural but a tabletop RPG? Hunter, you want to be vampires? You want that vampire crack? You want to smoke Dracula's bones? Do not actually do that in World of Darkness, by the way. I don't know what happens if you smoke Dracula's bones, but it will probably be terrible.
Probably.
Oh, it'll be real fucked up. Don't do that, actually. But, like, that's kind of how pitching new tabletop RPGs is like. So, like, a lot of the thing is that, like, I think that, like, the Game Master is the whale in terms of, like, how we think of, like, gacha spending, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones who usually spends the money first, or at least, like, previews the books, recommends them to people. And if you're playing D&D specifically, the DM always has a much bigger burden of buying, because, obviously, some number of your players need a player's handbook. Technically, not everybody needs a player's handbook, but I believe it is normally encouraged by Wizards previously. You should buy your own player's handbook. It's good if you can have your own copy of the rules to read and don't need to borrow somebody else's, but it's not necessary.
No, honestly, I was about to say, it's like, you need multiple copies of the PHB, buddy.
Yeah. You can't get by one copy. Maybe not every player needs a copy, but you need a couple floating around, because people are going to need to look up shit. Even with your funny haha app that automates all this shit, sometimes people want to double check stuff. Like, literally, Critical Role is sponsored by D&D Beyond most of the time, and they get, like, super special, app privileges to run all this shit. They still bust out PHPs to double-check shit, because, like, Matt Mercer will be like, that's an interesting ability. Let me check how this is worded. Which, is just a very natural Game Master thing to do. Somebody's about to fuck up your day, like, hold on, the verb tense here is very important. But, like, so, you should have multiple PHPs, but you really only need one DMG. You are encouraged, in fact, to not necessarily let players look at the DMG, though sometimes they have to, because sometimes they put important shit in there. Technically, players can look at a monster manual, but you don't really need more than one copy of a monster manual, usually. Like, players need it sometimes for, like, familiars and animal companions, but I still think it is a faux pas for people to, like, pick up the monster manual and just start flicking through the options, so that when your Game Master busts something out, you're like, ah, yes, an Ankeg. I know what that is. Not that like fucking stopped anybody like in the old school days. There are a lot of like really mean D&D monsters specifically built because I think Gary Gygax's friends would fucking palm through the monster manual and like know what the fuck he was doing ahead of time, so he had to keep making up new shit. I'm like 90% certain that's where Rust monsters come from.
Let monsters be surprised. Let things be a surprise.
Yeah.
Oh,
so like, usually you only need a couple copies of those, and then hey, guess what? Adventures? Players aren't supposed to read those. Like, sometimes there's handouts, but players are not supposed to read adventures because there's fucking plot twists in there you're not supposed to know. Mm-hmm. New source books, like setting books and campaign books, some of those have player-facing options and you want to give them to them, but usually your Game Master, like, buys first. So I think Wizards is trying to do is they're trying to eliminate the Game Master as a concept, so everybody has to buy the digital rights, at least, to all the books, so that they can, like, get more money out of you, because I'm pretty sure, like, Hasbro and WotC and stuff have, like, investor calls and C-suite bullshit, and so there are people going like, there's money you're leaving on the table. They're wrong. The money is not left on the table. You're already making the money. You're attempting to suck money out of a stone, and that I think will not work. They may, because D&D has so much mind space, they might be able to, like, convert some people who have only ever played D&D because they watched, Dimension 20 or Critical Role or whatever. They may be able to get some people to get in there and, like, change the hobby. There will still be so many traditional, like, tabletop RPGs out there, and there will still be D&D players who will be like, nah, man, I don't want to do that. I'll stop playing, sorry, I slapped my hands together. I'll stop playing, with D&D Beyond. We'll do this shit with pen and paper like we did at old school. Sorry, slight cough there. My water has run out. This is dry. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where, like, I get, they want to have business success, but I think they're going about this the wrong brain way, because I think they're treating, like, D&D like a lifestyle brand, and it really isn't. But yes, this is why you should not pay for D&D Beyond, and you should try different tabletop games. Broaden your horizons. You're not legally required to touch a D20.
Fuck it, make your own.
Yeah.
Listen, I still got the 2 concepts for the 2 games I want to make in the backlog. I just need...
yeah, Roll20's got Discord integration. Yeah, there's stuff in there. I still have, like, 4 or 5 unfinished fucking homebrew hacks, like... And this is, like I said, this is the thing that, like, I think they're fundamentally misunderstanding their audience, because I brought this up, like, game mastering is a burden because you need a special kind of brain poison to want to, world build an entire setting and for your friends to, like, sandbox around in while you do funny accents. Hi. Yes, this is very much a joke I make at my own expense. But that kind of creative spark also is what makes tabletop games. Like, I cannot imagine what kind of, like, what the AI slop version of D&D will look like. Like, I cannot imagine that will be good for quite a while before they perfect that system. So you're still going to need writers to write shit, and I don't know, man. Anyway, if you're interested in that kind of, like, crunchy shit, check out Pathfinder. I think they're doing okay. And, like, Paizo still has some problems, but I think they've cleaned up their act a lot lately, and they got a lot of goodwill from being like, hey, we're not the OGL. And check out lots of independent writers. Lots of RPGs are very niche, but they're very cool. There's a lot of really neat Powered by the Apocalypse games out there. I don't think they've done a new One Roll Engine game in a while, but I've always found them quite fun. Very robust series of systems they have. World of Darkness is no longer run by White Wolf. They've been, like, bought out several times and passed off to new developers. So, like, if you like old school White Wolf games, but are, like, concerned that they may still be doing some of their weird, edgy 90s goth shit, some of that stuff has stayed in the games, and you can always buy the old books. But they've got a lot of new shit too that sounds interesting, and just check out whatever you like. I don't know. I think I'm reasonably certain there's a good edition of Shadowrun. I think that exists. I think there's at least one good edition of Shadowrun. I don't think it's the current one, but they exist.
Which one are we on?
Oh god, I think is Shadowrun at 5 or 6. I feel like they're gotta be at 6.
I think 3rd edition is probably the best one, because I think that's the one I grew up on.
Yeah, I think that is generally the opinion, is that 3rd is the best. Like, 4th had some good concepts. The 5th one had some weird stuff, and I don't know if we've got a new one. If you do have to play modern Shadowrun, buy your books in German, apparently, because the German version of the publisher, like, straight up, like, erratas and fixes shit when they translate it, which is wild to me. But yeah, no, Shadowrun's in a really weird space, but they exist, and also, the CRPGs based on it are really cool. Yes, the Germans fucking love Shadowrun. I think that's a reason why they have such a big slice of the setting.
They have a dragon.
Yeah. It's not as crunchy as it once was, but I've heard decent things about the cyber, like, as a game system. The Cyberpunk Red is pretty good. They're going to come out with a 2077 book eventually, TM. And that's another thing, like, people don't understand. Like, tabletop gaming is a hobby that's in lots of places. Like, there is a TTRPG scene in Japan. It's shaped very differently, but there's a little bit of one. Though they love CRPGs and like classic RPGs in Japan as well. But, like, there's a big scene in Europe. Yeah, I think the Japanese system is much more about, hey, we're all, horribly overworked and don't have a lot of space in our house. Let's meet once a month, smack something out, and go home.
I don't know if I can only game, like, once a month. That's, like,
Yeah, I like gaming a little bit too much for that. I wouldn't mind, like, more and more, like, doing more shorter run stuff. But most of the times we try to do shorter run stuff, it inevitably turns longer.
Yeah.
just because I think everybody likes a little bit of the continuity and the experience, and like even going back to like you talking about Civ Lucky, like right, like I think a lot of people in our group just kind of like the journey aspect to the growth curve.
Oh yeah, no, like I can definitely tell you, me personally, I love starting from nothing and making something of myself. It's like I love it, and like even if I don't necessarily get to where I'm going, like I enjoy the journey. It's about the journey, not the destination, literally.
Oh yeah, if you
So
go to
that's-
the destination, the game's fucking over.
Yeah. So that's what usually when we like peter out of stuff, I never feel bad about it. But I'm always but I'm always ready to go in case we want to get back to it. Like, even though we're like really into Rain right now, no, trust me, I still got frickin' Jinsekai and Singularity War on the brain. Just not as much. Like, cause I believe that we will go back one day.
Yeah, probably.
God, how long was it before, we, picked up a Singularity War again?
There are
It was
some, especially back when we were doing it as like quote unquote 2 shots, because we would still, even though it was technically supposed to be room for like a convention 1 shot, we would usually do it as 2 sessions because we like to yap. But there were some gaps in when we were doing it as the Sprawl that were very long, and then when we converted to Genesis Singularity War, there was some big stuff there.
Yeah, so
I think there was like a year on like Rain Session 0 and Rain Session 1.
Yeah. So, like, no, it's like, I personally prefer long-form content to short-form content, and if we have to take a bit of time on it, that's fine.
Yeah, Gensekai is definitely one of those things where, like, no, let's see. So long as you guys all keep playing your characters, I'm pretty sure I can remember my ideas for, like, character fun bits, and, accidentally talking about, like, still exists, everyone has arcs they want to complete. Yeah, like, so long as you guys hold fast to those, I'm pretty sure I can remember all that stuff to slot in, and then the rest is just, like, I wrote a funny high RPG parody setting. I can fucking slot all kinds of dumb ideas in there, and remember like my rough draft where everything goes. It took me a little bit to click, but I did actually come up with like a plot thread to like tie everything together, and kind of our world gazetteer kind of like thing, like traveling around doing stuff. It will probably require me to have some serious vibes and sitting down time, but I also do want to get back to Delta Green someday because I have a lot of
Oh, really?
I have a lot of fun writing those, and I have so many like loose ideas. Like I've mentioned before, I've got some like desert ideas. I would love to do some weird stuff with like Bermuda Triangle and water stuff. Thinking about like Axe has talked about some stuff about like he thinks that there'd be a very funny idea to have like some cultist weather scientists trying to like defeat global warming because it'll fuck up the Arctic Circle and let out the Windwalker. And I'm like, yeah, I could probably do something with that. I could do some weird shit with you guys up in like Greenland or something. Like, there's definitely some stuff there. But yeah, that one I might have to morally massage because I guess the agency would be like, hey, I need you guys to stop this. But I can't imagine the players would be like, well, these guys are out here not fighting climate change. I have some ideas for like some interesting stuff with like digital overlap and some stuff with like having you guys visit like Japan, or like do Delta Green stuff on like American bases in Europe. Do some European crossover would be very interesting. I think I was inspired by a couple of things, but one of them is like that one it's one of the Love, Death, and Robots shorts, the one where they accidentally wake up Dracula and shoot it in with P90s. Like that's one where like that short really stuck with me, and I've seen some other stuff, and I'm like, I could make this fucking work. I could make you guys fight Dracula. That'd be fun. And that's usually how my Delta Green ideas go. I think of like some weird fucked up supernatural thing, and I'm like, whether it's like plague of extra dimensional rats, or like even like, man, dimensional shamblers are weird. I pick a weird threat, and then I just like, all right, what kind of fucking supernatural nonsense can I make you guys go through? What obscure short story from the Cthulhu mythos written in the past 100 years can I fucking dig up and make you guys get in there? There's a lot of fun stuff. So yeah, like I said, I need like real proper inspiration and like time to sit down and write those, but I would love to have that moment. Maybe if I actually get caught up on all the fucking backdrop shit I'm doing in Rain, I can actually do that. But like, I'm having a lot of fun backwriting Rain because there's a lot of stuff to talk about and thinking about things and scenes with people and stuff. Anyway, that was my my WotC tangent that got a little off base. We are over 2 hours. I do have one final bullet point which I love how I have phrased. I phrased it as a quote from Future Me. Hey, Lucky, what was the name of that game you were playing earlier?
Oh, My Beloved Empress?
Yes. Because you were playing it earlier, and I saw you playing for a while, and I was like...
Yeah, so...
And then you stopped playing, and I instantly forgot the name.
So, today's my birthday, so Lucky turns 37 today. I'm an old rabbit.
Well, happy birthday, buddy.
Yep, happy birthday me.
Probably
But...
technically belated, but I should slide you a little something.
Mm-hmm. But the, Aaron got me a game we were looking at a few days ago from the My Beloved series. Apparently there's, like, a couple more in the series, like My Beloved Daughter, My Beloved Wife, or something like that. But, basically the gist of this game is you are the ruler of, not China. I guess it has like a vaguely Chinese aesthetic in it. And, your mom dies, and then your wife dies. And you are absolutely downtrodden. Your land falls to ruin, everyone has given up on you. But then your duke be like, hey, you know what we can do? We can resurrect your wife. Using, this is why I was, chuckling, using Yagwai. You can summon demons, and you can use them to help run the city, and we can use them in the process of resurrecting your wife. The only thing is you either have to sacrifice the Yagwai to keep your departed wife's soul healthy enough to do the resurrection, or you can start killing off, hundreds of your citizens at a time in disasters. Here you go. And so it's a little almost it's not really empire because it's very compact, but I know what I can call it. It's a resource management sim where you have to balance improving your land and then, slapping it with a disaster so you can farm souls so you can keep your wife's soul healthy long enough so you can farm another resource so you can try and do a resurrection. And you have to do this by using Yagwai, who, well, inherently aren't evil, by themselves, but if you want to, make them, improve them and, make them better at what they do, you generally have to sacrifice people to do them. Like I said, I like this game because, for one, all the Yagwai are girls. All of them. So they're all monster girls. So, unfortunately, this means Lucky was, immediately interested in this game. Can't explain why. Also, all the leaders of the surrounding nations are also all female. I'm like, I feel like we're going for something here.
Yes. I sense a theme.
Sense a theme here. But, like I said, it's a pretty interesting game. I only got through one game. I got a game over. I was not able to keep, my, soul's wife alive because despite me having a slightly nihilistic and a slightly evil bent, I was just not willing just to start sacrificing everyone left and fucking right over a dead soul. It's a little weird. But no, I like the game so far because basically you have to every turn you have to make decisions pop up and crises you have to resolve and you have to pick options. And when you pick an option, usually that means one faction will go up while another one goes down, or you'll gain population in one area or another will go down. And you have to manage your bonuses because you can get bonuses you can get something because there's 4 factions because you have your soldiers, your nobles, your traders, and your commoners. You can get bonuses for if you pick nobles for one time, you can have a chance to get a buff called Noble's Favor, and for the next 2 turns, you cannot lose trust from the nobles. So if you just go around saying fuck you to all the nobles, you don't lose anything actually. So you got to kind of balance that out. And you can find out that by sending Yagwai to investigate, because each Yagwai have their own specific abilities, and they can investigate a problem before it happens, and then they can tell you what the cons and benefits of said action will be, so you can better inform your choices. And then, of course, the Yagwai have their own problems that they can take care of, and that usually is just net positives if you pick things. And there's relationship bars all over. Each of your Yagwai have a relationship bar. The factions all have a trust bar. And the higher the trust is, the more people they make, which means it's easier for you to sacrifice people. And people are saying yeah, you're a bad guy. You're literally you're either killing creatures you summon to help you, or you're killing the unnamed masses. No matter what, it's no matter what, you're doing something, morally reprehensible. But unfortunately, if you just go like, nah, I'm fine with my wife being dead, then you don't have much of a game here.
It's true. It's truth.
So, like, that's why I was like, I wasn't too messed up about, like, getting the game over. It's like, what happens if I get a game over? What happens is you fucking hang yourself because you cannot live without your wife. That's how much you loved her. Yet in this game, they are definitely kind of hinting that you might go marry someone else anyway. I'm like, I don't know. But it's fun. It's like, it's definitely it's in a nice resource management area and it has monster girls in it. And I'm like, yes. I do not know if I get to romance the monster girls because I'm all like, human women? Pfft, I don't need any of that in my kingdom. Listen, I already got a wife. I just need monster girl concubines. That's all, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know what happens. Like I said, I haven't beat the game because I'm going to be real. Lucky loves his monster girls. Lucky loves his evil ladies. Lucky is not disillusioned by the fact that they are monster girls and evil ladies. There is no way, there is a non-zero chance that this will not go well no matter what. It's like usually making dark deals and dark pacts with beautiful women is usually a fast ticket to getting everything fucked up.
Oh yeah, like you posted a screenshot it in secret.
Yeah, hang on, let me pull it up. It is funny because, and this is like, I think this is like a part of the can I just copy the image like this? This is part of the appeal, like, because I won't say like this game's trying to like beat like a moral drum or anything, but there's definitely something to be said about do you sacrifice hundreds of people you don't know or one person you do know? And I personally like that.
Yeah, I got some interesting stuff there.
This is a genie you summon who decides to give up magic in favor of the power of muscle. Well, again, I don't know. Like I said, your wife is dead. She is just a soul that you have to feed the souls of humans to maintain. And this is what got me. As the time goes on, the soul needs more and more souls to continue. So you can't stagnate and build up. You have to, progress in like certain things. You have to, and so you have to like. It's a little wiggly. I honestly kind of wish that the soul rate was just a flat expenditure every cycle, so I could actually build up. Yeah, I shrug.
Yeah, that's the classic resource loop.
Yeah, it's the resource loop.
Gotta advance things a little bit.
Well, again, Axe, then we wouldn't have much of a game.
Yeah, no, you gotta have a little bit. And I mean, it's it's not like you're not doing like weird ritual shit.
Yeah, so it's so I like the loop basically. So you spend a lot of time trying to fix your nation, curry favor with everyone, including other nations, and grow your population so that you can like slap a disaster, kill a bunch of people, and start rebuilding again. Or you sacrifice someone who has been helping you to the best of their ability and has slowly been opening up to you. I'm not entirely sure about this, but I think that the more that they open up, the more they open up to you, the more that you bond with them, the more they are worth when you sacrifice them.
That would sound about right for what it seems like this game is going for.
Yeah, no.
So I'm this not game sure has I could play this game because I feel like it would give me fucking choice agita.
Oh, let's say that in the description. Nice. But yeah, so it's like I don't know if games can give you choice agita because again, the game's very low impact with its visuals. Like most of the things are just from a city screen. You just have to click on squares and then click another square to pick your choice. Well, no, what I mean is the ongoing loop of well, shit, do I just yeet people I know and presumably or not? But yeah, no, it seems like a very interesting way it's written at least. Like a lot. Yeah, no. So I like it so far. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat it. Like I said, I got oh god. My 12th cycle? 12th, 13th cycle? Yeah, no, and that's, that's the thing about it. It's me personally, I'm not okay with sacrificing, faceless people, but also, I don't know them. I do know this 3-tailed fox girl who is, upset that she, she has to hide herself from her human lover. She comes and tells me her problems. I'm just yeah, no, I'd feel really bad if I sacrificed her.
Yeah, no,
that's
that's when the choices are, well, you can die, you can sacrifice, one person or you can sacrifice a bunch of people you don't know. Yeah, it's interesting, and it is that's a crux of a lot of moral dilemmas and dramatique.
Yeah, I know. And I will say, Tong, the main character, he doesn't start this game being all like, yes, I'm going to sacrifice all these people. Yeah, he just really wants his wife back and has decided to make a really bad choice about it. Which is one of those things that I personally like. I like it when we make, our quote-unquote villain not like some just absolute asshole. He just wants something really, really bad and just made a few bad decisions about this. Because, like I said, if you get a game over, the man hangs himself. That's how much his wife meant to him. So I'm like, yeah, no, it feels like this man would make a deal with the devil. So
Yeah, it's very involved.
Oh, this is something they are very specific about. If you sacrifice a Yagua, you cannot get them back. They leave an item and they are gone forever. So.
The old permanently missile.
Also, legendary, you should probably add a H after the T. If you're just trying to say in depth. Thank you. That confused me for a second. I'm like, in depth? In depth? What? Not trying to blast you for your spelling, but my brain.
Minor spelling mistake. Oh, this is a sticker, I see. Loth posted this as a GIF before. But I also like the minor spelling mistake GIF with Louis Soir.
Just blasted.
just trying to hold it in against Bahamut. It's just like minor spelling mistake.
I'll try to get more of it. Try to get more of it in, because unfortunately, unwashed peasants and flippant nobles, you're all probably gonna fucking die. Like I can't.
What's a few peasants among friends?
It's true.
Yeah, I've
listen. I will try to make your lives as the best as I fucking can, so you may die knowing that you lived a good life. But
I will.
Listen, we got snake ladies, we got fox girls, we got a zombie girl, we got a swole ass genie, we got this. Oh god, I don't even know what she is. We have like a paint demon. She's a spy and she has masks, but her hair is a braid and the tip is a giant paintbrush. I'm like, oh my god, I love this.
That sounds pretty cool. Really cool character designs.
We got a shy fish girl who was apparently killed before and is very upset about it. I'm like, why do you do this to me? Now I can never kill her. Lucky loves his monster girls, but yes.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say on it quite yet, but I've also in addition to working on my backlog. Well, I guess it's technically part of the backlog because I did play the tutorial, but I've been trying to find a game to play a little more lightly because, like I said, I've been more lower energy lately. And so I have actually played a little more of Dave the Diver.
Oh, you did?
I did pick it on, I did pick it up on PS Plus. So I've been poking at it, and it is because it's a game with regimented time segments, and limited oxygen time. It's very easy to just go, we'll run it. We'll do a day or two, and then pack it up. I don't have a lot to say. I like it. I'm a little control-wise, I'm still getting used to I can't aim straight up or straight down. Gotta get used to them angles or just hitting things with a knife. And I do kind of feel like the game kind of turbos out plot hooks and stuff really fast. Some of it I think is because I want to give you all the apps and systems. But there were a couple days where I was playing every time I would get on my boat or go in the water, a new fucking thing happened, and I'm like, man, I don't even have time to catch up on my goals from the last thing. But it's really interesting. I kind of like what they're doing with the setting and world building of just very early they're just mysterious kaiju, kraken shit is going on. There's Atlanteans and stuff. The sea peoples. And I'm just okay, neat. But also we have to catch fish to make sushi. To learn the art of hiring, I have to feed a woman a shark's head. But yeah, like I said, I may comment more as we go on, but I don't have a lot to say yet because I don't think I'm super deep. I'm only 4 or 5 days? Maybe more? I don't know. I can keep track of the date. I kind of rotate the shark because I swim around him and shoot him. Bang, bang. You gotta rotate sharks. It's kind of like that, but with more guns. But yes, we can, it's after midnight. We can wrap us up the show. Let's see. Yeah, we're going for 2.5 hours. Some of that'll be edited out, but it was a decent run for a show that's, very small FGO, very big video games. And then when I'm off, first of all, when I stop recording, I can fill up my bottle of water so I can stop choking every 5 to 10 minutes. Because I'm dry. But also I can, double check if I have Lucky's address correctly. I would do that on there. But we can wrap up. Lucky, anything else from the week? Playing a new video game. Anything else going on with you want to bring up?
No, not really. Been playing Warframe, getting the 14 time in. I did download Cult of the Lamb, so I'll be getting into that. Got a lot of books for my birthday, mostly light novels. Did get a couple more Final Fantasy 14 art books. Now I'm up to Stormblood.
Nice.
I was scanning, actually looking through them earlier. I'm like, yeah, looking at the armor designs, the weapon designs, some of the some of the pictures. We actually have a picture of the Admiral in bikini in here. I was like, whoa,
Huh?
how dare?
What?
Yeah. Hang on. Where is it? See if I can find it real quick. There it is. I will snap a picture real quick. It's not like a stream bikini, and there's a lot of the lads around, but she's there. Camera. Oh, damn my light. Well, it's gonna be a somewhat shitty picture, but what I have to do. Discord. Send. You can't stop the Admiral. You can do what you want.
I know.
No, but I got 5. I got 5 books, and I think I got another 4 to go. I don't think.
What concept art?
I got concept art. I was looking at. They were showing off the designs for oh man, just everything in here. It's not super detailed stuff. It's usually the finished work of the stuff, but you get to see a whole bunch of little details. It's cool. But yeah, I also got a few light novels, and that's it. Also was able to finally get a copy of a Dark Sector, a game I've been looking for a little bit. It's not that special of a game, but it's just the game that Digital Extremes worked on before they did Warframe, and it was a game that I actually played originally on the PS3 as well. Because like I said, I have been back in my Warframe, and if we're not playing Civ, I'm usually playing Warframe late at night. Actually, Maggie, you feeling up Civ tonight?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We can do some more.
I mentioned it earlier, but no, I'm still good to Civ.
Yeah, no. I have to get me a sandwich or something, but yeah, I'll be down too.
Yeah, I'll get some water and drinks.
But no, other than that, I'm super excited for Rain. I'm gonna consider throwing Leslock under the bus a bit more for the Dramatique, and so we can hive mine. Because also, I'm probably gonna I'm sorry, Omega, I didn't actually mean this, but I totally zoned out when the King and Leslock were talking.
Well, I mean, it's okay. You weren't there. I mean, while admittedly your character also probably needs to take a nap after you get back home, there probably should be a moment where Leslock talks to the crew about what he talked about with the King.
And that's what I was kind of hoping.
Well, luckily, there's an audio recording of it. You can refresh yourself because
I remember
the rough details of what the King talked about with you.
Because I remember there was something about a world tour. I guess we're getting the band back together, and maybe we need some kindred diplomats. But that's those are the 2 high points I remember. I was like,
I mean, those are the big ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Grand Tour.
Yes. It's actually what the origin of the term Grand Tour is nobles, touring cultural sites in Europe.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I get some reminders. I know you guys were all thinking stuff, but we got a variety of things to chip into and chill.
But yes, what I mean by
I'll say this, Axe. You've been saying tonight stuff you're going to go on every step of the Grand Tour. You're not invited to every step of the Grand Tour. You don't need to go every step of the Grand Tour. In fact, you shouldn't. You should be in Norrland some. It's just that the King offered to have you start the tour with the Prince while they were in Crown, because, for an extra couple of weeks, because it would be good for you, the, young, newly promoted Marquis of House Logie, to be seen with the future King and the current Crown Prince.
And by throw you under bus... Oh,
good.
No,
finish your thought.
Oh, and by throw you on the bus, I mean inform the others that you sold parts of your land and pledged your support to the Iron Demons for a piece of jewelry. It's a very nice piece of jewelry.
Good piece of jewelry, though.
It's a really good piece of jewelry.
And I mean, that's not going to be the entirety of it, but there's just going to be a significant argument in the history books that this piece of jewelry is, essential to a courtship with a member of the royal house. But, there's lots of discussions to have about stuff and things.
Oh, but don't worry. I'm going to use this opportunity to then brag on Conrad.
Oh, I see. Enos is entering his gossipy little bitch face.
What are you talking about? I've always been a gossipy little bitch.
I mean, I know, but you haven't had as much juice to run it.
Yes.
Now, you're gonna lie on this couch and you're gonna I'm just imagining you lying on the couch, with the other hand, one hand pressing your forehead, one hand with a pot that you're stirring. Just
no, I'm sorry, but no. Aaron says that, and my immediately thought is, at least I can make a choice.
Never lost asking about Civ. We'll be there.
No, we cannot retcon our deal. Remember when Anos said no, we had to make the deal now because you would try to change it later. Do you see what you're doing? You are literally playing into exactly what I said.
Yeah, and I think the whole point was in character was that Enos did not want Leslock to build a bulleted list like stuff he wants. He's like, no. We're gonna commit in the macro. I want you to do this thing for me. You want me to do this thing for you. That's what we're gonna do. And like that's the
Well, I do want to
discussion
say,
point.
like, Ax, I know we're talking about random, but this is me, the player, and me as Enos teaching you a lesson. Oh, I did the fucking scoff thing. Cause like I said, cause at no point did you ask what happens if you say no. Cause the response is then Enos is just gonna take the 2 weeks to make it, and it has still been the same damn item.
It just wouldn't have been as splashy.
Yeah. Nope. Ax, I already planned what I would say if you had said yes, and I already planned what I would have said if you had said no. I was already prepared. I do not go into negotiation with just thinking I'm going to win.
And this is kind of the thing I'm talking about, where I'm realizing that I need to build the space for time stuff to happen, because the passage of time is very important to this setting and these characters. Of like, yeah, no, like with fucking maybe Lesluck should have taken the time to breathe on that conversation, but I feel like he didn't want to, because he wanted to Axe wanted to resolve it right then and there. And it's like, well, it didn't have to. Also,
it didn't have to. Enos was definitely pressuring him to resolve it right then and there. But it's one of those things of like,
the funny part is that and it's for legit reasons, because Conrad wants to do other stuff. But we've now made Logash Lost character Axe's constant companion. So we have the Silence Boys are always together, the Quiet Boys.
The subdivision of the Logie lads.
Yeah, Axe talking about his active listening and shit, and it's like, because like. I think this was mostly off mic, but like I think Dallas had a good point where he was like, no, like in character, Nicola would be very annoyed with Lesluck right now, because like he understands what Enos is going for, but like he felt that Lesluck should have like hardballed a little more, like tried to actually like nail some stuff down.
Yes,
I mean
Axe, we are capital F family.
Yeah, this is the thing I'm talking about. We're like talking about Axe wanting to resolve stuff right now, like. I feel like you're treating it like all things are resolved and your relationship is closed forever, but it's not, because Enos is still a character in this RPG, and you have so much more things to go. Hey, I've got stats for Sea Devils now.
Oh no.
Also, unrelated to that, but there's a couple of random options on the Monstrum table to have people get turned to stone. So, I have introduced a new alchemy spell, the Golden Needle, to make a magical cure for petrification, because it may come up. So, hey, don't get petrified, y'all.
No.
Try to get petrified, team.
No.
It's like Intensity 2, so it's not a problem if you have pre-prep.
Well, Conrad does need to fight more stuff, because I feel like he's slightly out of his element, but no.
No, we're ready to cook. Like, and I'm trying to set up more fights, but I also, I don't want to do the Dragon Age 2 thing where, leather-clad banditos just jump down from rooftops and try to start shit. Well, it's not... I don't think he wants you to do a deal for everything. It's just, for the pin, he wants something very concrete. And
yes, no, Enos, again, this hasn't come up because, unfortunately, I do think we're having a problem where we're not talking to each other about our problems, which may have to change a little bit. I did a little bit of confrontation with Conrad in the prologue and stuff. But
I know that we definitely, everybody had their moment to kind of talk about what they were thinking and feeling about during the time skip.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have had lots of opportunities for conversation. Most of those have turned into just, gentle ribbing role play. You guys have been to some dinners and you've been on boats and stuff, and, there've been a couple one-on-one conversations about stuff, but, I definitely, And again, I understand, obviously, that as a character, Lesluck is head of the family, but this may be a thing that some of the other players need to do. I feel like we need to, start calling more team meetings.
Yeah.
Well, it's not about your cravings and problems. It's also about, you have fucking shit to do. Have you pitched to your immediate family or your closest advisors that you are, planning on getting a fucking royal marriage? Have you thought about, any of the political concerns of that? Have you thought about how your new potential wife is going to be influenced in your household? Because you know that, that means she's going to be in charge of your home and things, and all of these have to do. Conrad hasn't actually brought up to any of you either that he wants a castle. He also has his own plans, and he, wants more property and title leverage for his own situation. That, somebody should probably bring that up because you're going to need a lot of people.
Yeah, no, like, that's the thing. It's like we're all keeping ourselves a little too in our own corners, I think, and I feel we need. So this is one of the reasons why I'm going to throw Leslock under the bus and then use that to immediately pounce on Conrad. Then I will shit,
buddy. You've got a perfect person in your corner. Since you guys added more Rhodesian to the team, I have an NPC who will relentlessly shit talk all of you because to her you are babies and you can't say shit back because she will kick your ass. Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, yeah, that she'll be like, cool, and then she's just gonna sit down in your house and you're gonna be like, shit, what do I do?
You're gonna yell squatter rights and you're like, fuck.
Like. Here's just, I mean, there's a lot of there's plenty of stuff. Like, I know that like Comrade's written some stuff about asking like what she's been doing over the years. I've actually thought of this because I want you guys to ask that question and she has answers because I think you would naturally. But like, Moira's definitely one of those characters of like, I wanted to create an not necessarily an authority figure, but like a mentorship figure who's like you can't just get rid of. So like, yeah, you're the Marquis and stuff, and like normal people will believe you. Moira Two Swords Degen, the master fencer and swordsmith who rolled with your dad and was probably stabbing pirates when she was like 15, thinking about like the age block here. She doesn't give a shit about your title. She didn't care about any of that stuff.
But I'm going to use that opportunity to round on Nicola and ask what the fuck does he actually want in life? Which
is a good point, because I think that's a thing that in character Nicola and out of character Dallas is struggling with. Is like, shit, what do I do with my life now? I didn't think about it logically that it would be really easy to promote me to the position of court physician. And yeah, I think, you're phrasing it as like, we're being dumb. And it's like, you are kind of being a little dumb, X, because you're like, you just like, are we being silly here? We're not talking about things until we're ready to actually like do stuff. And kind of, yeah. And maybe that is a little silly because like, I did talk about this, we are. And yes, no, Aaron is right. This is the thing I have to remember, and I have to, like, hit you guys with sometime. You guys are still kids. Fucking the oldest you were, like, Logesh is, what, like, 21? Like, you're not inexperienced, but you're inexperienced, But, like, it is, I think, kind of a thing where I think some of the characters are, like, holding stuff back and, like, not getting out there. And I think there was a very interesting role-playing conversation with Logesh when, like, it was part of as a joke because that's his big thing is marriage matches and diplomacy, like that shit. But there was a genuine moment where like Logesh got the pitch and then he tried to pivot to Rodrigo, which was very funny. But also like Baron Oro like genuinely thought about it, was like, what would I do for a match? And then I think Logesh had to think about like, who would be a match? I'm not really focused on that right now because now my whole I've just been appointed as Cavalier to my Marquis said it would be really bad for me to let him get killed, so I'm kind of like job focused right now. But so yeah, like it's definitely a thing that I think was kind of interesting to have these moments where like characters are thinking about stuff, but we haven't gotten out of the thinking to the talking stage, and the talking stage is very important because, like I said, I do want you guys to be squatted up as a family because like. I'm gonna throw some shit at you. Like, there's gonna be some heavy hitters. Like, you guys are gonna have real ass problems. Like, I don't know if like all the Iron Demons are gonna be cool with Enos's plans. There might be Iron Demon ninjas who come to like shut him the fuck up or something. I'm probably gonna like set shit you own on fire. There will be armies of enemies. There will be literal super hell demons that are gonna come out of the ground and shit. Like you guys are probably gonna at some point do the enemies of enormous scale kaiju fight type shit. Like you guys are gonna have real problems. So like gonna talk about that stuff. I don't think they'll necessarily be like evil cultists, but I think that there will be political movers and shakers who will probably not agree with Enos's plans for the future and may not be afraid to punch his ticket.
Yarp.
Because we still live in a dangerous time where solving your problems with a knife is a thing. Hell, maybe I'll put stuff where, like, you guys will also have to deal with that, where you're going to have to deal with, like, political enemies, where you're, like, I can make NPCs who are just like, man, I don't fucking like that guy. And you're going to be like, well, politically, we can't do anything about this guy. But if we, cover Enos and Conrad in boot black and, like, slip them in his window at night, we can solve this problem real fast. There it is. I love this. Yes. Aaron's like, Conrad totally doesn't have stealth for a reason. Yeah, no, there's going to be some shit going on. So, like...
I'm I'm looking at my stealth, lie, and intimidate pools and thinking of getting them up. Might be some black bagging happening.
Juice. Yeah. I mean, we got some stuff. We can figure out some things. There's infinite amount of, I mean, not infinite, but there's large packs of nobles, because there are a lot of, like, unlanded nobles and gentry. There's a lot of titled guys. You know, there's lots of, like, super minus things. I don't think Enos is necessarily going to need to mass kill people who own the land Enos wants, but you never know. Some of those guys might be assholes to you, and you'll be compelled to think about, well, shit, I told Enos, my sworn brother, that I would do this thing for him, but also, like, now I'm in a situation where one of my noble vassals is just like, nope, shit, it ain't right. Smoke pipe. I'm his boss, so I can tell him to fuck off, but, like, that'll reflect poorly upon me. People don't like that.
Again, this is totally a me thing, but I like conflict and consequences. Not necessarily, just the negative consequences, but, the results of actions. I like seeing that.
Well, and that's the point of this kind of game. Is supposed to be a game of kind of like action-reaction. Right now, a lot of the action, I think, is the way it is because, like, it was very odd, but, like, everybody's response in the prologue was, I mean, not necessarily this way. Like, I think Conrad did take a couple chances to get aggro, but, like, most of your response to threats and problems and weirdness from your contemporaries in outside situations was to, like, try and, like, make peace, make friends, understand, and downplay conflict.
Yeah, I don't understand. We had this whole conflict with House Marn brewing up, and then we just squashed it, like, immediately. I didn't understand that. I really didn't.
Yeah, and honestly, I think the Marins are just as confused about it in character as you are out of character. Like, we'll see when they actually get on screen. I think Nico's gonna visit them, and, like, obviously, since I mentioned that their younger sister was a wind witch, a sorceress, like, I do think that I do like that everybody instantly started doing the math of, like, wait, we've got, like, 4 teenage girls all the same age who are into magic and shit. We need to build the teen girl squad, But, like, it's just one of those moments where, like, I had to, like, rethink a lot of my early conflict opportunities because a lot of NPCs, you guys were just kind of like, yeah.
Listen, I was totally for snubbing the Marn twins. I'm
not gonna say that, like, some of your characters' blind trust of authority figures when you guys were kids is gonna come back to bite you in the ass, but, like, I don't know. I think it seems like the characters who've interacted with, a lot of them have tried to be straight up friendly with a lot of the other High Lords, and it's just like, man, where's the distrust? The most distrust I think I've seen is Conrad trying to keep the Crown Prince at arm's length, which is very funny because half the other characters are like, Alias, buddy, let's go bowling.
Hey, I am not like that. I have a specific professional relationship with the Crown Prince. I just don't act like it.
Well, that's true. You would invite the Crown Prince to bowling even though you're not that kind of friends because you think it'd be funny.
Yes, this is correct. No, we're actually gonna, trade. We're gonna trade information, and I'm gonna ask him if he's found any information that I'm looking for, and I'll inform him on the things of that.
Well, yeah, like, Axe actually has a point here talking about. Yeah, you don't externally show that. Like, it's part of Enos's thing to, like, mask it by being so friendly, but it is true that you do not. That means that you have that distance. Like, honestly, you don't show it as much, and that's maybe part of the conversation we need to have.
Yeah, no, like I'm thinking about it, like. When it comes to, like, distrust, like, I don't think there's anyone I actually distrust. There's most people I'm just neutral towards. Like, I think if I was to say, I would probably have, like, I am neutral to, like, everyone but, like, maybe Baron Oro. Like, I like Baron Oro because I like the cut of his jib, and everyone else I'm just kind of meh on.
Oh, and I think that, like, I think you guys have built it. Like, I think that your relationship with Baron Oro is in a state where, like, that's probably not going to change, because, like, the way Baron Oro is, like, he doesn't have to be money grubbing. He's fucking rich as fuck. His land produces gold, and he is the guy in charge of minting coins for the realm. Where the fuck do you think the king gets the gold to turn into coins? Him. So, like, yeah, he doesn't need to, like, nickel and dime you. He believes in diplomacy. The part of the conflict with him is going to come when I'm, like, summon up some fucking demons, or I, get the ghosts of Christmas past to come out in his lands, and he's like, yes, hello, my friends from the north, I have a problem I cannot solve with money. Please fucking help me. Send me some swords.
Yeah, but, like, I was trying to think of, like, some other things of actual suspicious activity, and there are, like, odd notes and things.
I find it very funny that, like, Dallas keeps saying, I'm terrified of the High Queen. I'm suspicious of her. It's so weird that she showed up in person to greet us in town, and, like, That woman has
She's
not appeared hardly on screen since then.
No, I think there was from my perspective, there was something happening in the Crown. There is definitely some factions at play, but I do not necessarily know who belongs to what faction. I know that the Pope is sus, because he might be doing something, but also, I don't see the Pope a lot. I try to stay out of his eyesight, for reasons. And that for that same kind of reason, I try to stay out of Verity's eyesight. But I don't necessarily distrust them. And also, Reyes Schools is on their island, so I have to go there every once in a while.
My classic
So it's
conflict.
I think the problem with the distrust is I haven't had really a reason to distrust people. I don't want to bog down the game by I roll empathy.
It's true. While we have had some conflict, we are right now the first couple sessions post time stop where I was just dealing out light problems hands of poker, and you were just here's what you're dealing with, and you're like, okay, we'll take care of this, and then it's all right, okay, well, we got to go to the Crown and get committed and fucking settle that out. So nobody's really had a chance to move against you. We're still in the ominous foreshadowing phase.
Yeah, no, once I start getting evidence or suspicions that people are moving against me, then I start the distrusting. But it's really hard. It's I also think it's really weird to just start distrusting people for no reason. I think the only other person I probably have a reason for maybe distrusting is Lord Ferretti, because I think he's been making some weird moves recently, but I have no basis for that. So it's
I said, I think it's very funny with Ferretti that and you guys even make jokes at his expense about how much of a kind of not quite a fop because he's a little older, but he definitely has certain stereotypes about being very concerned with appearance and ego and proper procedure and everything, being kind of a stick in the mud. But also when talking about, hey, where are we gonna get shit, I think Nicola formatted well, I've talked with House Ferretti. I can speak with them about maybe we can go to them to get some extra food for our stores, with the money we're gonna get, and Leslock's very focused specifically on one of his illegitimate but freeholding, children who is another Veiler.
For reasons.
You could meet other Veilers you could go looking for them. But and it's just kind of he's the kind of guy where you guys will poke fun at him, and I think Comrade has several, and I'm okay with him building up several bromances with some of the beefier boys from Ferretti lands, but it's definitely funny to me of just how even though you guys poke fun and acknowledge the jokes and stereotypes made at him, nobody really objects when you guys try to circle him in as an ally either. It's just well, he's there, so we might as well see, It's funny, I definitely think you guys should think about, maybe not a full-blown expedition, but definitely tapping into your resources with your trade pals down south, because they've got some interesting and unique goods. But anyway, that's a discussion for different times. You guys will probably get back to your smuggling thing eventually. We've pushed on for an extra half hour than I was trying to plan.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, actually, you should always the first step to everything in game mastering, and you guys should know this because Dallas does it all the fucking time, is turn to me and go, "Hey, Omega, world question or question about something. Can I what's and then your responses are usually going to be, well, here's what I've got in my pocket. I pull open my trench coat and reveal the world building stitched in the inside. Or I go, I'd have to think about that, sort of a thing. And, the worst you're going to get from me if you're can I blah, 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 is I'm going to be that'll be hard. Or, let me get back to you on that. Genuinely, and I know at different stages, different players are more sensitive about, taking up the game master's time at different points. Dallas is just Dallas is good at just kind of shutting up and sitting in his corner, but also he has that brain thing where the moment he thinks of a question, he asks it.
Yep.
Which is not, inherently good or bad. It depends on the moment, but it's definitely definitely funny because he'll sit and be quiet all session and not do anything and just kind of take shit in. And then they'll be just oh, hey, Omega, random thought. Well, so this will all be recorded so you can double check later. We're still rolling the podcast. This is the podcast right now. It should probably not be the podcast because we want to fucking play Civ and it's already midnight 30 for me, and I gotta get some fucking water before I die. We can still get in it. We're fine. I'm not that sleepy. Like I said, I just need to fucking refill my water. But we should pack it up. Hey, rain is cool. Yeah, I know. Robin is the reason why I have to fucking speed leave VCs these days. He'll chat about shit forever. Hey, Omega, one more thing. I'm like, nope, I'm gone. I'm out of here. You know what you did. You are also a king of being like, one more thing, and I have to like just not tell you to shut up, but like I do have to like set boundaries when we're ending streams of like, hey, I have to like clearly delineate the end of the stream because I don't know, I think it's fucking weird if I like cut Axe off mid-sentence with the press of a button because that's how ending a stream works. It's supposed to have like a coda, like an endpoint, and then we're like silence, period, break, turn off. Much like this show. So, we can theoretically talk about Rain forever. We're not gonna. We're gonna wrap up the podcast so we can play Civ, and maybe we can talk about more Rain there. Because Loth will be there. And Aaron will be there, hopefully. I'm pretty sure he said he's down. So, the outro resembles something like this. Like this video, we are no longer asking. You leave your comments down below. Much, much earlier in this show, I asked you to leave a comment about what you think the strongest servant in each class is. Or which class is the most unique. You know, we did actually get some interesting thunkers in mailbag earlier, so refer to that. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Subs are cool. Ring the little bell, too. Now, I don't know if that does anything cool for me, but people tell you to ring the bell, so ring the bell. You'll get alerts so you know when we post shit. Like Rain. When Rain happens, you should click that, too, so you have context for all this shit we yell about for like 4 hours. Let's see. Sub, comments. Join the Discord. Link in the description on the channel page. Click the Discord link. Join our Discord. It's cool. You can also join our channel memberships by clicking the little join button. Get access to membership badges and emotes and stuff. That is also super cool and a great way to support us. And like I said at the beginning of the show, you can consider supporting us on Patreon. Get access to episodes early in audio format. At higher levels, get access to videos like Wanteds and polls early and stuff like that. And at our highest levels, you can listen to the show get recorded live every week, and you can, sit in and be part of this fucking peanut gallery nonsense. But also, at any level on our Patreon, you can view the Patreon channel on our Discord. So, like, you can get some context for this nonsense also. But consider supporting us on Patreon. It's super cool. You got a little bit before the new month comes up. It is my duty to warn you as a Patreon provider that Apple is also a demented company. And so, if for some reason you were thinking about supporting us on Patreon through the Patreon app on your iOS device, don't do that. Go to our website. Go to the Patreon website and do it. Apple will charge you extra fees, and is just like, well, the Patreon providers will have to sort out their own pricing. So don't do it. Go to patreon.com, find us, Studio Omega, check us out there. Do not do it through an app. You will get charged extra money for no good reason. I know, it's very silly, but it's a thing I wanted to bring up as well. Support us on Patreon. It's cool. We like you. Thumbs up. We'll see you next time for more. I think somebody said that the next banner should actually drop on Wednesday, so hopefully we'll have new FGO stuff to yell about. And there'll be the panel. Check that out. That's everything I got, so just good night, folks.